Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to the live stream of the not so live streamed event. We got 2,500 of you guys in here at the moment. I will give you guys the update. I have been in touch with the Mazarenko crew just moments ago, and I can report to you that they are aware their website is down, and Anna Mazarenko is the person that I have been able to communicate with. She assures me it will be up and we will get to see it. So we'll see what's going on. I don't know. Hey, I don't know if it's going to actually truly make it or not, but I can give you the reassurances that Anna Mazarenko tells me we're not going to miss it. So we have to sit tight. What I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to see if I can give you guys something to talk about. We'll have a chat with you guys. I might get a few guests on here as well, and we can talk about a whole bunch of things as this event hopefully gets closer to being live and accessible. I'll keep refreshing the pages and all that sort of stuff, and we'll see what gets going. But it is looking grim at the moment. I've got every single person in the arm wrestling world that's trying to cover this, messaging me saying, have you got access? Have you got access? And none of us have got access, that's for sure. None of us have access at the moment. But it does, like I said, hopefully, we end up good. So we'll see what happens. I will be live. I will stay live continuously, I assure you, and I will keep my finger on the pulse. As I said, I've got messages directly talking to Anna Mazarenko. Eagle is not responding, but Anna is. She assures me that they are working on it, and we're going to see the show. Hopefully, if they don't get it going, hopefully they just switch it onto YouTube Live and just put it out free to all of us, because we've all paid for this already. I don't know how many, probably tens of thousands of people will pay for this already. So they've made the money. The money is there. They need to just give it to us. There's no way we can't miss this damn event. And if not, Anna Mazarenko needs to go live on her mobile phone or something, just so we can damn see it. But anyway, welcome, guys. We got 2,600 of us here. We are set for what I think was going to be the biggest super match in the history of the sport, in my opinion. The two giants of strength, Lavon, Saginashvili, Dave Chaffee, East versus West, two unbeatable strength-based arm wrestlers set to collide. And it's truly, for me, the most exciting match that I've ever had a chance to watch. So there's such divided opinion on how this one goes. We got the 6-0 Lavon camp. We got the wait and see Dave Chaffee camp. It is going to be special, that is for sure. It is undoubtedly going to be something that will be remembered, and it will potentially entirely flip the script of arm wrestling in terms of world rankings. What does it mean if Dave wins? There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be asked. We got a super chat in from Sweden Arm Wrestling TVs that says they should shift to YouTube. It's way more beneficial. Yeah, guys, I agree. They should shift to YouTube. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Trust me, guys. Everything that we're in this together. Like I said, I've got Anna Mazarenko right here talking to me, so I will keep you guys updated as she gives me updates. I will pass on your suggestions as well. So far, we're working on it, and a reassurance that we will see it. So at the moment, the site is down for me. When I attempt to access armbets.tv, nothing comes up but a 502 error. So 502 bad gateway error. I've also tried via my mobile and via the app as well. Not working at all. So unfortunately, right now, I don't know what's going on. What I might do is I might get in touch with Lisa Mosier. Actually, let me do that right now. I'll get in touch with Lisa Mosier, who is no doubt there, and Well, let's see what happens. Let's see if I can actually call Lisa. Let's see if we can get Lisa and Dan Mosier on the line. See where the event's actually at, if we're missing the matches or not. Let's see if she answers. I might call Igor next.
Hello.
Hey, Lisa, it's Ryan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just had I've got the entire YouTube arm wrestling world all in the same position where Igor's website's not working. We wanted to know how far off are all the matches from starting?
We're not even starting yet. We're literally just sitting here. I think they're trying to fix it because because we're just sitting here.
Yeah, okay.
Yet, so.
I've got 3,500 people in the live chat, just all freaking out, going, "Oh my goodness, we can't get access."
I'm sure it'll happen, but I'll see. I think they are working on it though, because they're doing things right now. So
okay,
and we're just all sitting here hanging out.
Awesome. So nothing's underway yet. Awesome.
Yes, nothing's happening yet. So.
Alrighty. Thank you for the inside scoop, Lisa. You're a champion.
Nervous for always.
Oh, good.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Lisa.
Okay. He's just hanging out too. We're all literally just hanging out.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the inside information. That really helps us all.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
There you have it. Lisa Nguyen, Dan Mosier's wife. She's just given us the inside scoop that they are all just sitting around currently, the athletes, that is. So nothing is underway yet. We are not missing any matches so far. We are just waiting for them to sort their lives out. But it does seem that is happening in the background. So I don't know. Hopefully they get it sorted. Let me see if I can bring in a guest or something. I think that would be a good idea right now. Let's see if I can bring in. Who we got? Aussie arm wrestler. You there? Let's have a look. No Aussie arm wrestler in the waiting room yet. I'm sure he will be not too far away, but crazy. Yeah. Beautiful. I've just sent Uncle John a link. He has offered to come on as well. If you guys want to join in, do send me a link. Send me a message and I'll send you the link to the show. But anyway, what I'll do, like I said, is bring on some guests. I'll keep you guys updated. And the instant there is a live feed somewhere, we'll be live. We'll talk about this match. But in the meantime, what I might do as well is waiting for Uncle John and all that sort of stuff. Have you guys seen all the promos? One promo that was done was from Sweden Arm Wrestling TV. They had a kick-ass promo. I want to see if I can bring that up for you guys. Just to keep that hype going. I got Bob Brown messaging me now. He says, Bob Brown's like, holy crap, it's 3 a.m. to you. Yes, Bob. Sure is. Wouldn't miss it. On you, Bob. Bob Brown, one of the coolest guys I've ever met, Bob Brown. The amount of stories that he's got in relation to John Brzank and all the greats, it's just, he's the man to go to for cool stories. Let's have a look. Sweden, SATV. I want to bring up SATV's promo. This one right here. Let's go. Oh, we got Uncle John about to enter the room, ladies and gentlemen. Here he comes, Uncle John. Uncle John, how are you, brother?
Oh, it's a great
Oh,
day to be an arm wrestling fan when everything good is at your fingertips and it's just not quite accessible.
yeah. Oh, tell me about it. This is
Brutal.
crazy. I think this has happened before with
Yeah.
PAL events. It's not the first time. It's not the first time.
So
Oh,
I was out. I was out and about. I was planning to do something later on in the day, like a post show type of deal. But was it just like, did the show even start, or
no,
did it?
no,
Was it just
it
dead?
hasn't started. It hasn't started. I've messaged Igor Mazarenko, no response. I've messaged Anna Mazarenko, and I got a response from her. She tells me that they're working on it, they're aware of it, and reassured us that we're not going to miss the event. They won't run the event until they're ready. So I
Okay,
then
that's good.
I then just called Lisa Nguyen, Dan Mosier's wife,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
said they're all sitting around. No one started anything yet. So um,
Good.
it's pretty crazy.
Shenanigans are afoot.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I'll tell you, man alive. Well, it's crazy though. We got 3,700 people in here. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
this is a record already for me on the live.
Yeah, huge
I've never had
response.
that sort
That's
of stuff
great.
before. Yeah. But what's been happening with you, man? What's been happening with you in respect to this match? Where do you see this?
So Dave versus Levan. I think that I've kind of changed my thoughts over time a little bit. I think when it was first announced, I was very much Levan is going to win very, very convincingly.
Mhm.
I still think Levan is going to win this match. I don't think he's going to win it easily. I think it's going to be quite the battle first, especially in those first couple of matches. But the big ticket that everyone seems to, half the people remember, half the people don't, is that everything we're going on for these two guys was a long time ago, right? It's been a very long time. I don't believe that these guys have let up for even a second, but this is a very difficult one to call. Now, if you talk about staking,
Mm.
even worse, even worse. I think the safe bet is probably Dave, or the safer bet is Dave in that one. I think it's unlikely that Levan wins this 6-0.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
could, but I think it's unlikely just because of what we know about Dave, because he is such a mystery. He doesn't give us a whole lot, and when he does give us something, it's always incredible. Every time we see him working out, every time we see him pulling, he always looks great. Now, the question is Dave still the Dave from whatever that was, 2013, when he went against Dennis? Is that where he's at? Is he better than that? Is he healthier than that? I don't know. What was your final prediction? I saw that you posted a video, but I haven't watched it.
Well, that final prediction was probably the most detailed and epic prediction I've ever done in the history of predictions. I didn't go so far as just to say who would win. I went down to how every slip would happen and how they were feeling. Like people were saying, like, right, this if you pull you sound more like Nostradamus than an arm wrestling prediction right now. So I was very, very specific. I saw.
And are you going with Dave?
No, I think Lavon will win.
You think Lavon
I think
will
Lavon will win, but I'm certain that Dave will take rounds off him. I think that fundamentally Dave is the stronger human. I think he has significantly more back pressure and side pressure. That said, I do believe Dave's hand is going to gas in this match, and I believe Lavon's arm will gas in this match, but Dave's hand will gas. And I see Dave taking the first two rounds. The first round specifically was a slip in a losing position outside of straps. Very first round, Dave's going to hold on like he did to Gennady and like he did to Truman a couple of times, where and he'll actually take the wrist. He'll actually take the wrist. I see it, and a slip in a losing position is going to happen. They're going to call it. It's going to be 1-0. Round two, aggressive slip from Lavon. It goes to straps. Same thing this time though. Although there's a pause halfway down where Lavon stops him, but a nice elbow adjustment and some more cup from Dave gets the pin. And then from then on, I'm worried for Dave's hand. I think every time he goes sideways, his wrist is going to hit a problem. That said, at 2-2, when it gets to 2-2, I expect Dave to make an adjustment. I know Dave's not the most famous man for making adjustments, but I'm expecting Dave to grip low and sense that Lavon's arm is getting tired and sense that fuck it, I'm gripping low and I'm going into and burying into a hook. And I see him burying into a hook, but I see the fact that he gripped too low. And therefore, when Lavon comes in, he's got superior rotation and he out rotates Dave for the pin. Then final round, I see it. Once again, he grips low, but not as low, forces the hook just. Lavon can't get the pins. Dave starts bringing it back through center, and we see Lavon in a king's move to finish it.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you. If there's any chance that we see, since these guys are so powerful, if we see something like that, is there a chance? And apparently, yes, you think it is possible that we see that.
It has been foretold.
I would love to see it. I would love to see all of that. I would honestly love to see Dave come out with something we haven't seen before. You know, if Dave has secretly been training something other than the typical type of thing that we've seen in the past, where it's just kind of that overall beastie power. If he really comes in and pushes Levan to a place where Levan needs to change his game, needs to worry about his game a little bit more, I would love to see it. I'm just questioning where the top end power is, right, on both of these guys at this time. Obviously, we haven't seen Levan pulling per se, but every time we see him, he's lifting some kind of astronomical weight that doesn't even comprehend in the human psyche. But man, this is it, right? Do you think that this match is as big as Michael versus Devin?
I think it's bigger. For me, it's bigger. Yeah. It really is. I like Devin is the king of hype for a match, but these guys, neither of them have that Devin Larratt presence, and yet there is so much hype on this match, and I think it's for good reason. I think, as we've said, they fundamentally are the two strongest guys in arm wrestling, and East versus West. It's classic battle on so many fronts, and there's something alluring to the nature of these guys just being so damn strong and just gonna come straight at each other. It's really interesting. Like Dave Chaffee is he only loses to super technical pullers, and realistically, those losses that he had in a WAL are quite questionable given the pads and the sloppy Kings moves that were used. So it's really easy to formulate a debate and an argument that Dave really is the guy still from North America.
This is the thing I've been trying to remind people, is that Dave's stock, in my opinion, unfairly went down when he lost to Michael and Devin, right? Yeah. Because yes, he lost. All credit to Michael and Devin for doing what they had to do, but that is not those WAL matches is not what's happening today. This is a different type of feel. This is, I think Dave has a much better chance in this tighter, more restrictive environment than he does, say, at WAL.
Yeah, 100%. 100% with you on that. And at the end of the day, Lavon's not really that technical either. I do believe he's more technical than Dave, but I don't think he is a super technical puller. So I think that there is the opportunity for this to be in the lane that Dave Chaffee needs it to be in. And that presents itself with the opportunity then that, look, Dave can win this. There's too many people that think Dave is just going to get a train wreck. Like, I mean, the whole staking thing with the 6-0 just be one round is very intriguing. And I think that did end up providing a great set of balance to that staking, but I think the reality is very different. I don't think Dave is out of this match. The body weight difference is 50 kilos between the two, so it is significant. But when we look at the pathways of Lavon coming to this match, as you say, he hasn't ever actually beaten what like, it's hard to say this, but he's never actually beaten someone of significant elite caliber with runs on the board. Like Vitaly Laletin, nothing taking away from Vitaly Laletin, but Vitaly Laletin's never beaten a Pushkar or a Saplenkov or a Devin or a Chaffee as well. And yet, just because of the win over Vitaly, the world assumes that Lavon's the best. And I just think that he's not yet.
Yeah. I agree. Look at
Looks
this.
like
Look at
we've
this
got Jake
handsome
Ward in the
hunk
house too.
Well, I've just quickly jumped in, guys. As you know, I'm live on my YouTube, and yeah, the internet world is going nuts. Ryan Bowen, always good to see you, my good man, and Uncle John, you big ledge. And that's why you've got the crappy camera. So I'll just stick in and say g'day. Hang on, let me just quickly. I'll just quickly share it with everyone. Oh no, that's gone nuts.
Hey, I did notice that the Arm Bets page just went from bad gateway to technical break. Please come back in 10 minutes.
Okay, come back. Did you hear that, everyone? Come back in 10 minutes.
I just refreshed it. It says come back. I have a feeling it's going to be longer than that, but fingers crossed.
Jake Ward, what's your tip, man?
Mate, Dave Chaffee. And I think now, because the internet world has attacked me really, like since I made a video tipping Dave Chaffee, and everyone in the internet has attacked me, and probably rightly so. That's it. I'm not backing down. I'm sticking with Dave. I mean, they both looked fantastic when they turned up to the event. I'm very excited. So it'll be interesting. I love it. Can't wait, but just hate that we've been sitting here for half an hour each and nothing's happening.
Jake, just so you can pass on to your guys too that are watching, the update that I've got, I've done a bit of reconnaissance. I've spoken to Anna Mazarenko. She assures me the event won't start without it being broadcast. So they're working on it currently, and that is their assurance. And we then rang Dan Mosier's wife, Lisa, and she says, yes, they're all sitting around waiting for the green light so far. So no, nothing is actually happening in the Ukraine yet, and they're aware of the problem. So hopefully that means a solution's on its way.
I think for a reward for all of us sitting here watching and waiting, I think they should just start at the semi-main event, main event, and then do the undercard. So Ryan and I can go back to bed.
Yeah, mate. I wrote today off as a no sleep day today. I got the fix on at 6:30 a.m. as well. So,
mate, you'll still be. The main event won't happen. You might have to call it. You might have to have the fix on your channel as well.
Yeah, no, it's a big day for arm wrestling. Just before you were talking, jumped on, Jake, Uncle John and I were chatting about the significance of this match, being that it's. I think personally. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you asked for it. Sorry, Jake. Here comes someone that is going to make you all very happy.
Uh-oh.
Can't wait to see this man's opinion on what is about to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Devin Larratt.
Oh,
Devin Larratt, here he is. How are you?
Hi, buddy.
Have you got a secret?
Your message.
You got a secret access code to Armbets TV? Are you watching?
Oh, man, it's not working for me yet. I just got my phone, so it's like kind of limited. But big day today. Hey, how you guys doing?
It's having a mate.
Man, we're just sitting there talking to each other as we do with the PAL websites down yet again.
Hey, I watched the first little probably 4 minutes of your epic prediction, and then I had to turn it off. I was like, dude, you're crazy. You're
taking
crazy.
it to Nostradamus levels on my predictions.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
What's your prediction then? What's your prediction?
Well, now that the betting is closed, I feel that I'm in a legal place where I can say what I think. Man, Lavon is going to kill him.
Really?
He's going to kill him. Yeah.
I mean, the fundamental strength of Dave Chaffee, though. Surely the fundamental strength of Dave Chaffee's there.
Give us some hope, Devin. Give us some hope.
You guys are smoking crack. Seriously.
Hey, just to be clear, I did lay money on Levan going 6-0.
Listen, that dude is on another planet. Seriously. Like, if you think you can beat him with some kind of fundamental arm wrestling strength, you are crazy. You're crazy.
Wow.
The only way you're going to beat that guy right now, I think, is with the King's move or some kind of wonky stuff. If Vitali got top rolled by Dave Lavon. Do you think that Dave Chaffee's going to be able to top roll him? Do you think he's going to be able to crack that wrist back?
Oh man, I see that risk. I see that risk going. I don't know.
Yeah.
That wrist is going nowhere. That wrist is going. The only thing that's going to happen. Look, he just curled like 300 pounds, man. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, we made it when we went on. When we made it the 6-0 stake, we're like, that's the only way it's even possible for people to bet on. That's what I think.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, Lavon is going to destroy. I love Dave. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope even if it's close, if the match even slows down a little bit, I'll be pretty happy. If Chaffee can even keep him flat for a little bit, I think that's great. I just don't see it. I don't see it in any way. I think it's just going to kill him.
Hey, boys, we're back. We're live. We're live on Arm Bets. It's back
Arm
up.
Bets is working? Oh my goodness, don't tell me.
All right, well, I better jump out. I'll head back to my channel. Yeah. Ryan, always good to see you. Happy Father's Day for yesterday. Uncle John, you are the man. And Devin, mate, just thank you for everything you have done. And I hope you knock Thor out.
Oh, easy day. Easy
day.
No problem.
You guys will let. I'll come in and out. I'll speak to you guys soon.
All right, Jake. Take care, mate.
Hey, Jake.
I'm out of here too.
Whilst we got you, how's the prep? You in form? You feeling good?
I'm freaking terrible, guys. Seriously, I am the worst boxer in the world. But look at me. I'm looking healthier. You can probably tell I look healthier. I'm cardioing it to the max. Every day I do get better. Yesterday, my face was a bloody mess. Just hurts to touch my nose. Got punched so much yesterday. But yes. There's a lot to overcome here. I just want to have. It's what a great trip, man. What a great experience. Like,
man, you're living life. That's for sure. You are most certainly living life. Love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And honestly, like the reset from the sport, I think will be a good thing for me. The 5 weeks off, like really not just off physically, but mentally off, has it's been a good thing for me. I already have got, like, every once in a while, I'll have some thoughts that I think are gonna do me well when I return. So yeah, man, look, I'm just making the most of it. I'm having fun, and I get to fight Thor. How freaking cool is that? I get to fight Thor. I have no illusion. I have no illusions that I'm probably gonna get killed, but I will get my head in the right space, and anything is possible. But anyway, that's not what's going on today. Today, the big show, Dave Chaffee versus Lavon. I'm super pumped. So I'm gonna duck out.
Sounds
and
good,
I'll talk to you guys.
Thank you for jumping in and filling the gap whilst we waited for Igor. And the stream's up, so you go enjoy, and best of luck with Thor, man.
Catch you guys soon. All the best.
Good luck, buddy.
There we go. That was pretty cool.
That was very cool.
He says Lavon's gonna smash him.
Smash him, confident. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" I don't think that level of confidence is justified. But no. I did put my stake on Levan 6-0 very early on, and I only felt worse about that stake as time went on. I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I do think Levan will win. I'm having a hard time thinking it's going to be 6-0, but we shall see.
There we go. So we have live footage now. I don't know which super match this is in terms of the order, but we've got Bobrovich against Cyber up there. I don't know either of these guys, but it is fantastic that we have a live stream going. So
good quality too. Good looks.
It looks outstanding. This is the kind of quality that we need for the stream. So I'm glad it is back. But man, the other match that's on, Dan Mosier, Irakli Saginashvili, another USA Georgian showdown. How do you see that one, man?
Man, I will tell you this. I will be rooting for Dan Mosier with every fiber of my being. I really want Dan to win, but Irakli has showed us what he can do. Like Irakli is ridiculous. He's super duper strong. I think if Irakli is able, like a lot of other matches, I've said the same thing. If Irakli is able to stop Dan, I think it's going for Irakli. But if he gets overwhelmed by Dan's immense explosive power off the go, it's going to be very, very difficult. So that's going to be the big question in my mind is where does the first half second of the match go to? And then if Dan does get stopped, has he developed something that's going to be able to defend against what Irakli is going to be able to do after that?
Yeah. Well, I expect Dan to do what Dan does, particularly early rounds, round 1, round 2, maybe, where Dan surprises people. When you hold on to Dan's hand, you don't expect him to actually be able to go that hard sideways without losing his wrist. You just don't expect it, and that shock factor, I think, gets through the gate on a lot of people. But 6 rounds with Irakli being a proficient top roller and proficient defensive top roller, I'm expecting Irakli to maybe lose a round or 2, then feel the lane and technically get a stop. And then he will be the better arm wrestler if it stops, I think, for sure. Dan is reliant on a couple of mid-match surges and whatnot that are kind of ugly, but I don't think it's going to do the job towards the later round. So I'm expecting a 4-2 or a 5-1 to Irakli is my gut feel.
I think it's very possible, but again, I will relentlessly cheer for Dan Mosier in this matchup because I'd like to see Dan get a big win. I'd like to see North America get a big win in this whole thing because I do have some feelings inside of me having been born in America and then moving to Canada. I feel like I'm a big part of North America, and I do not want North America to leave this event getting smashed by the East and allowing that nonsense to continue to grow. So that's who I'll be rooting for. 110%.
I got to make mention and apologize to everyone in the YouTube chat. All the random super chats that have come through that I have totally missed whilst juggling a whole bunch of stuff. I do apologize. I will go back and have a look, but seeing them coming in now, digging it, says T-minus 1 minute and counting. I don't know what he's counting down to, but hey, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much for that. We've got the live stream up and running. So if you haven't yet got yours, it is working for us now, umbets.tv. It is working. So head over there and 3-0 to Cyber over Bobrovich is what I'm seeing right now.
Yep, that's what I have as well. I should probably try to find the card because there's a lot of matches before. Like, how long do you think this is going to be? Like 3 hours, 4 hours?
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of matches.
I honestly do think it's going to be. Like, I've been to a PAL event. I was in Poland at the Zloty Turn 2019 for the finals, and it took forever. And it not only took forever, it was boring between rounds. There's a lot of time between slips and straps and fouls and that. Like, we've been talking. We've had this live stream up, I think, for maybe 10 minutes, it feels like. And so far, the score has gone from 2-0 to 3-0 in 10 minutes.
Right. So. Yeah. We're in for the long haul, people. I hope you're ready for some arm wrestling. What did you watch everything yesterday from King of Cali?
Oh, I watched I watched the Derek's match with Tom. I haven't watched the rest. I will. I've been so focused on this Dave Chaffee, Lavon, Saginashvili situation that I haven't. But yeah, Derek looks like he has gone significantly to another chapter. I mean, to me,
at his sheer size, like every time I see him around, like it's easy to just look at him at his computer screen when he's doing a live stream and be like, yeah, Derek's big, but how big? And then you see him with the other humans on this planet and you realize truly how gigantic that dude is.
Yeah, he's big. What, he's 6'8", I believe.
Yeah.
He's
376, I think they said he weighed in at.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's great. When we talk about genetic potential, he's at the very top of genetic potential. It's just I don't like when I hear people say, if he was ever going to be elite, he would have already been elite and would know about it. I'm a big subscriber to the fact that anyone from anywhere, if they're willing to put the time, effort, and dedication in, can become an elite version of themselves. And Derek, the platform he's starting from, his level lands right at the top if he does commit. And it looks like he's committing. He's doing the things, be it the supplementation, whatever, as well. He looks like those things are kicking in, and the difference that's making is tremendous, because Tom Nelson is not a pushover, and he pushed him over like he was not even there.
Yeah, it was basically one hit into a completely pronated position, and then a secondary just putting it down quite easy. Every three in a row, right? Pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
So, good on Derek. He would have had a ton of motivation going into Arm Wars, but I guess that's officially not happening now. Same as with Chance, which I think is unfortunate, but where does Derek go from now? Where do you think, since he's not going to Arm Wars, where does he go?
He needs to get a match with an American established credibility guy. Like he either needs to. I'd like to see him face Corey, to be honest. That's one cool thing. I think to me, it's clear that Corey and Derek are the two new guys. I know Chance wants to be seen as that guy as well, but I think both Derek and Corey beat Chance quite convincingly. My personal opinion. So I'd like to see Corey and Derek in a match, but really I'd love to see him pull a Todd Hutchins or a Matt Mask or maybe even a Mike Aiello. I think he'd beat Mike.
Aiello would be good.
But I think that's about the level that I think Derek's probably at. He's probably realistically right there. But to me, it's not a stretch too far for him to have a crack at a Matt Mask either, or a Todd Hutchins. Or hell, anyone. I'd like to see him pull just about anyone. When we've seen him train with Michael Todd and Devin Larratt and whatnot, but it's very different to tapering and preparing and coming in hot for an event. I think that he could hang with anyone in the USA, almost like look respectable now, based on what I saw yesterday. So.
Yeah, well, and it's another, like when you say Tom Nelson is not a pushover. Look, Tom Nelson has beaten top dudes, top dudes. And maybe that was a while ago, but Tom Nelson's legit. Yesterday's match just made him look less legit than he actually is. So don't throw that away too much. And it seems like we have people on both ends of the spectrum where people will say, this proved nothing for Derek. Or other people who say, hey, Derek's got to go against the winner of Vitali and Levan or whatever. Well, maybe somewhere in the middle of those two things probably is more realistic.
Yeah. I did see that comment float out. I mean, I put out I feel like I've somewhat mastered the process of thumbnails and titles at the moment, and and the video that I put out about Derek makes him look really badass. It really does.
Yeah.
Lots of comments in there about him taking on the winner of Lavon and Dave. So it's we love
those
that.
levels get murky. The higher you go, the murkier the levels get, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're there, everybody, for the record. I don't think we're quite there for Derek. But can he get there? I like his chances. I think, and I do subscribe to your theory as well, that you don't have to be a world level puller at 22 in order to become a world level puller, at a later age. You can certainly do it, and there's opportunities for that. And we've seen it happen multiple times. The likes of Todd Hutchings not starting till 35. Other guys starting even later than that, like Tim Bresnan, and reach the top level. And then you can say, oh, well, Tim Bresnan is a huge dude. Well, Derek Smith is on that hugeness, if not bigger, right? So I think it's there for him. He just needs to really dedicate, really move in, do all the things that one has to do to reach that level. And that accounts for a lot of different things, but I hope he can get there. I really do.
100%. Hey, Uncle John, did you manage to find a card for this event whilst you were?
I tried to get on the Arm Bets website, the regular website, and that was not working either. Let me see. I thought I saw one on Facebook at some point.
That's true. It's one funny thing about the arm wrestling world. It is incredibly disjointed in terms of information and finding out what's coming up and timelines. And that. As a fan to the sport, I'm sure it is a struggle to have a linear timeline of what to expect next, but the sport is undeniably growing. That is for sure.
Guaranteed. I mean, you just look at what do we have in here now? Over we got 4,000 people still just watching the preliminary event of just talking. We're not even talking about the event yet. So amazing. This would have never happened, even 2 years ago. There's no way we had this much going on. I see a lot of different schedule updates on the PAL website, but I'm not
on the Facebook page as well at the moment, and looking.
Well, I think Mosier is second to last, like a co-main event type of situation. But I could have swore I saw a thumbnail that had like every single match on it. Oh, here we go. So it doesn't tell us the order per se, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 undercard matches. Then we have Gasparini Kurdecha,
which is gone.
That's right.
Yes. Oh yeah,
right.
I got it as well.
You got it, and then Mosier, and then Chaffee.
Okay, so and we've got that Cyber Bobrovich one on now with Cyber at 5-0 getting the job done. And I don't know any of these other guys on that bottom row. So
no, nor do I.
So I feel like we are probably about at least 2 hours away from Dave Chaffee and Lavon. If you are in the chat and wondering how long, from my experience with a PAL event, I reckon that's about how long? 2 hours at least.
Yeah. And for those of you wondering, I saw just a bunch of comments in the chat. It's live on armbets.tv. That's not armbet.net. That's armbets.tv. It's $9.99 US. You get on there, you click it. It's pretty easy. You got to have PayPal or debit card or something like that. So,
you know what's one exciting thing, Uncle John, is that when we talk about the progression of Derek, when we talk about the progression of this match, Dave Chaffee and Levan, who's going to be the next guy to face who, what this means for the arm wrestling world, there's one cool thing, that the next guy to actually face Levan, it's going to be me.
Will you guarantee that you are the first one to touch hands with Lavon when he gets there?
Yeah, well, I will do everything, but I will greet him at the airport. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll be his quarantine bellboy, whatever. But yeah, I will. I will be the next person.
When is he coming? When is he landing?
I haven't personally spoken to him about his specific travel arrangements for a couple of weeks, but it was roughly 2 weeks after this event that he was going to be heading to Australia. Last we spoke. So yeah, it's so I will put the man to the test on behalf of all redheads and side pressure enthusiasts. So.
Yeah. So he's probably got what, 150 kg on you, somewhere in that range, something outrageous. A couple like person and a half on top of you. Like, do you when you think about pulling him, do you feel like there will be anything for you at the beginning when you first grip up with him and pull? Will there be anything there?
For me, what makes Levan so impossible is not only his fundamentals strong, like his back pressure, side pressure, wrist flexion, all that sort of stuff, clearly at the very, very top. But Oh, I thought I lost the feed for a moment there. But it's the thing is the size of his wrist, the thickness of his hand, the inability to hold on to Levan. When you start drilling down to just the sheer physics of what it takes, how far around his wrist you can get, his subsequent access to pronate freely because you can't hold on. Levan, as impossible as he is, I don't think that he's fundamentally stronger than Dave Chaffee, for instance, but I think he's bigger, and that is a factor. So there's no way someone of my level would be able to do anything with Levan from center unless he was giving me that access. I think if, like, when you watch him train with Irakli, he gives Irakli access.
Yeah.
He could deny center and and bully very easily. So that's what I expect to do with him. When I expect to train with him, and I expect him to lay that pronation down a little and to let me get cupped and supinated, and then I want to get his measure. His opinion of my level is the most valuable thing in the world to me right now. Wrestling. I just want him to know. I just want him to give me his opinion on who would have won if it was myself against Irakli today, which was I was invited. I was invited by Igor to have this match, but to get Lavon's update on it will be special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to be some really good content. Are you kind of figuring like Lavon will have multiple days with you?
Oh yeah, He's here for 11. He's here for 11 weeks, and no doubt he's going to be busy.
Oh, nice.
I don't think publicly he's made an announcement as to exactly what he's doing. But he's here for an 11-week contract, and regular training is the goal, and he's keen. So we'll get the whole Brisbane 8 against him, and
yes,
it'll be fun.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited about that for sure.
Yeah.
So it looks like match number 1 is over. It was a 6-0, pretty quick and easy. Now this, I don't know who's next. What was this guy? Ezer Fred Maharamov versus Muradian.
Perfect pronunciation there.
Yeah, I'm sure that would pass all the tests. I'm sure, quite sure. It seems like some people are going back and forth on possibly they put up a free version of the stream. Like, are they putting out the pre-card for free? Possibly.
I don't
Mike
know.
Garza said. Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, this for me, this came up. I'm at armbets.tv, and as soon as I opened it, and I opened it on a pre-saved link that I had that wasn't actually the Dave Chaffee event, it just came up. So I dare not close it right now for the sake of potentially not getting back in. But this may be the undercards may be the free version that is going out. I can see there's 3.8 thousand people via the Armbets website currently watching it. So we'll see what happens, but $10 pay-per-view is worth it every day of the week.
Oh God, yeah,
every day of the week. And this guy has got a mean-looking haircut. He looks like Neo coming out of the Matrix.
Yes, it very much does. It's so interesting to think when you look at this card and there's literally 5 matches of vendetta-worthy guys that we don't know.
What is the depth there of Eastern European arm wrestling? Russia.
I don't know. The way it's set up, they make you think like everyone is a god. But is that the case? I don't know. What is the level of these two guys? No clue. Neil might know. Neil, I was talking to Neil. He said he would come on. Did you send a link to Neil at all yet?
Oh shit, no.
Try to send one to Neil. Maybe he'll pop on.
Let's get Neil on. Yeah, Neil, when it comes to people who know people,
Neil's the
dude.
Neil always knows the guys from all eras at all times and all places. Oh man.
All right. Well, look at this. There's a bit of a size difference going on here. I don't know which one's Muradian versus Maharamov, and there we go. Convincing win straight off the bat to Maharamov. That's what we want to see. We want to see quick, decisive wins. Let's get towards the matches that we're all
get it on. Get it going. Oh man. Hey, by the way, everybody in the chat, since I have about 3,000 something people here, go to stakekings.com/armbet and stake on your boy Uncle John versus David Bradford at Arm Wars Reality Check. I'm telling you, I'm feeling strong. David Bradford can beat me in one thing: beauty contest. Arm Wars, no chance. I'm just telling you that now. That is very top secret information. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. This guy, I might be able to beat this guy in a beauty contest.
I I feel, I feel like that's a one of a kind look. That's a signature look that coming out of the Matrix look. But
For sure.
Muradian, I don't know where Muradian is from, but he's not looking confident at the moment. His opponent Maharamov is significantly larger athlete, looking pretty stable.
Yeah, very thick.
Table. Round 2 coming up as we speak it. I'm just looking at some of the comments. I'm trying to work out if this is the free stream or not. Yep, the matches are free. Lots of people saying free. If it is free, there is the potential to screen share this at the moment. Let me have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can actually talk about some specifics.
It's gonna go on. Oh yeah, the regular Arm Bets website just directly goes to the live stream.
Okay. Share screen then. All right, let's share screen. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're gonna actually see. Let's see for it. Okay. All right, we got to, now we can give you some actual live commentary. So when this gets to the Dan Mosier level, I'm assuming that it is going to bail off in terms of what is accessible, what's visible, and then we will do the right thing and make sure that we don't screen share on that pay-per-view. But anyway, as you can see, we've got Muramov against Muradian. I don't know where they're from. I don't know their story, but I do know that Muramov on the yellow is in control. As you can see there, the attempted shoulder press hook from Muradian doesn't do much. The side pressure, simply too much from Muramov 2-0. Bob Brown wants to come in on the chat too.
Bob Brown,
there it is. Let's expect Bob any moment.
So Ryan, when you get into a arm wrestling match, especially a super match like this, where you have to go a full 6 rounds, and you get into this thing and you realize, like in this case, that your opponent is just the power is just a level above you. What are some things in your mind that would go through your mind about making changes, or what can you do to overcome that strength differential?
It's the worst case scenario, isn't it? It's every arm wrestler's nightmare to feel like they've been promoted for a match, they're put up in the lights, they get there on the big stage, and they're being embarrassed. They're outgunned. They just feel not strong enough. And for me, the key at this point, and this is why I love the sport of arm wrestling, is that the weaker man can win. The weaker man can and does win when they when they execute well. And so, in this circumstance, I mean, the PAL makes it a little trickier. They're very strict on their refereeing, so it is tricky. Make no mistake, it's tricky to get everything in. But at the end of the day, you've just got to identify what your opponent's strategy is, and you've got to try to expose their ability to access it. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Bob Brown entering the room.
Oh, Bob Brown.
How are you, sir?
What's happening, people? How we doing?
Oh, we're good. We're good. You watching the stream?
Yeah, I was, of course, like you guys, it was down. So then I linked in to see what you guys are doing, because you're way more techie than I am. And then I saw it come up, and like you guys had just discovered, I realized this is just, this is free for everyone. You can't, like, the normal Arm Bet site isn't even up right now. This is the only thing you can get from the Arm Bet site. So hopefully, like you said, it'll just switch over to pay-per-view. And if you paid for it, it continues. And if you didn't pay for it, you're not going to watch it.
Yeah. Now, Bob Brown, you are one of the men in the arm wrestling world famously known for having strong prediction ability on how matches are going to go. How's this one going to go? This is the biggest match of the year, in my opinion. How do you see it?
Well, I think I see it similarly to the way you see it. Lavon's going to win the match. I hate that I have to say that. I absolutely believe if they started the first match in a hook and you had to stay in a hook, then Dave Chaffee wins that match. And he wins every one of them. But at some point, Dave's hand is going to fail. And once it fails, every match after that, he loses. I would not be surprised at all if Dave starts right out the jump with the top roll. They slip, they go into the straps, and he starts, with a top roll, goes sideways and takes Lavon down. That would not completely blow me away. But as he gets put, as you're, taking someone down to the winning side of the pad against another top roller, you're putting more and more pressure on your own hand. And I think that the sheer size of Lavon's hand and the fact that he legitimately knows how to arm wrestle and top roll is going to crack Dave's hand. And side pressure with your hand versus side pressure without your hand is two totally different things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, well, interestingly, we had Devon on earlier, Bob, and Devon's opinion was that Lavon was just in every way going to crush Dave in this match. It was a very strong opinion that Devon had, which,
right.
to be honest, surprised me a little. I thought he was going to back Dave's fundamentals a little more, but no, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Devon is, look, I love Devon, and the new version of Devon is certainly a bigger, stronger version of Devon. But if you're just talking about raw horsepower, strength, hook, ability, side pressure, and you're talking about strength, Devon Lorette's not in the conversation. He's not even in the conversation. I mean, I'm sorry, but his technical ability, the height of his hand, the length of his hand, overwhelmingly makes up for the fact that he's nowhere near as strong as Dave, and he's nowhere near as strong as Lavon. Now, that doesn't mean he can't beat those guys. I'm just talking about a very specific horsepower that both of these guys are going to go into right from the jump. And, it's like the 300-pound bench presser trying to bench 400 pounds or 500 pounds and telling me which one is heavier. The 300-pound bench presser has no idea which one's stronger. So,
we just got a win from Maradian. Gets him on the board there with a low hand top roll against Maramov. And we got a super chat in from Sweden Arm Wrestling TV to give us an update on who Maharamov actually is. He apparently finished second at the IFA Worlds in the 105 kilo plus class after Sweden's Eric Falgren, who tested Lavon's hand in the Euro Arm in 2017 but lost in the straps. Thank you for that insight, Sweden Arm Wrestling TV. So Maharamov, a pretty decent high-level arm wrestler, that's for sure, in terms of his level, which we were discussing before you came on, Bob. But as this match draws in with Dave and Lavon, I think there's so many questions still unanswered about these two guys. I don't feel like we've seen Lavon tested by a truly established elite.
Completely agree.
Yeah, no Pushkar, no Saplenkov, no Chaffee in his path to the top. It's just been Lalatin, who, it's nothing against Lalatin, but both Levan and Lalatin rose together in that era when Saplenkov and Pushkar became no longer available. So,
right,
Chaffee is that test, in my opinion.
I 100% agree with everything you just said. We really don't know. I mean, Lavon may grab a hold of Dave Chaffee, look at him, have a nice day, put him right down. I mean, Devon could be correct at how strong Lavon is. He very well could be, but we really don't have any idea.
Yeah. Guys in the YouTube chat, I've just dropped off the stream. I've realized it's super laggy for what you guys are seeing. And given it is free right now, just jump on there and grab it via the Armbets TV. Then you'll I think get a better picture than what it's coming through here. So we will continue just to chat about what is going on at the event. And and provide some commentary to the matches specifically as well. We'll give you that shortly. But what about the Irakli and Dan Mosier one, Bob? How do you see that one? The other big match on the cards.
I completely agree with Uncle John. I'm rooting for Dan Mosier and Team USA. Unfortunately, Dan's not going to win. The question for me, though, is very similar to what you said. To me, it's not a question of if Dan's wrist gets folded. It's when. I could definitely see Dan ready, go, smashing right to the pad, taking a win. Another match, Irakli has a wake-up call and realizes, holy crap, I really need to back pressure the hell out of this guy, and puts a little wear and tear on the
Do we freeze?
Oh, I'm glad. We lost it there, Bob. All good, but all good. No, as this match looks like it's just come to its conclusion as well. So we're one step closer to seeing those big matches that we're all excited about too. So Haramov taking this match 5-1 over Muradian. Not sure who we got coming up next, but we are one step closer. So yeah, I agree with you, Bob, on the Dan. I think Dan is probably going to win the first round through the sheer surprise factor that he has. But I do believe that Irakli will have the technical proficiency and the strength to feel the lane that he needs to and go on and win probably 4-2, 5-1 from there.
Right.
But, yeah.
But,
Guys,
I mean, I'm really rooting for Dan. I mean,
Absolutely.
He's crazy explosive. His hand is like a piece of steel. And here's the thing. Dan has a top roll. Dan definitely can transition from a hook into a top roll. He can top roll in the straps. So he has the move or the couple of moves to beat this guy. It's just that when it transforms from arm wrestling to hand wrestling, I still got to go with the other guy.
Yeah. Uncle John, what were you about to mention?
I was just wondering if you guys know, so specifically for Chaffee Saginashvili, let's say Dave wins or if Levan wins, where do we know who they would go against next in the top 8? Like is the winner
I believe
of
the winner of Prudnik and who's he facing? The other side has Hermes Trubin, Laletin, who made it through against Kostadinov. So
right.
there was someone, Dave. We've got Dave Lavon. Who else is there? We're having a blank here. Help us out, YouTube.
I don't know. I wish I knew.
YouTube will not let us down. My mind is not working. It's 4 a.m. for me. Waiting for the answer to pop up in the YouTube channel. Who is it? Oh my goodness.
It's not like Babayev or anybody, is it?
No, Babayev's in the 95 kilos. He went.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a winner of Prudnik Bresnan.
Oh, that's it.
Which is, yeah, I think whoever wins this one goes all the way to the final, realistically. I don't think Prudnik or Bresnan will beat either Lavon or Dave, really, under any circumstance.
Who do you think will win out of Prudnik and Bresnan?
I'm going to go with Bresnan.
I have to go with
Prudnik.
I like
going with Prudnik.
Yeah, I think Prudnik's got the versatility and the table IQ and counterattacking abilities, and Bresnan will put that sticking point in front of him that he has.
Oh yeah. But here's what I say about Bresnan is the same thing I say about myself or John Berzink or any arm wrestler that's in the 50-year-old or older range.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not getting much stronger from year to year. So we've probably seen the strongest version of Bresnan that we're going to see. Prudnik, on the other hand, is a very young guy that from one year to another, he can continually gain strength. So I would think that Prudnik has gotten considerably stronger in the last year or two, but Bresnan has basically maintained where he's at.
Yeah. And you can see that in Prudnik, that he is physically still leveling up.
Yes.
He's maybe 120 kilos, 125 even by now. I'm not sure, but he's big, and he's still maintained a lot of his technical, I guess, variety as well. And I think it's that technical variety that will hold him in good stead against him. I know that John Brzenk, back in 2019 season of Top 8, really liked what he saw in Prudnik, and a lot of people were talking about that. And John had Prudnik picked as the next guy to kind of emerge from that mid pack of the elite guys to suddenly being potentially the guy. So, but he lost to Vitaly Levan, obviously 5-1. But I think this time round he'll be determined to do better. But that said, I don't think Prudnik can beat Chaffee or Lavon. Sorry, Prudnik.
Right. Well,
Not right now.
I agree. I agree with all of that. And, you know, the problem that you have it happens in all the weight classes, but it really reveals itself in the heavyweight class is, you know, I don't care how strong you get. Like, eventually a guy who's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", with a lever 3 inches taller than your opponents, that guy does not have to be as strong as his opponent to win. Like, Levan, in my opinion, whether it's this year or next year, if everyone stays healthy, Levan is going to start to dominate Lavon. I mean, dominate Lavon once he has the ability to get the hand. I mean, we just saw Derek Smith arm wrestle Tom Nelson, and Derek, you know, beat Tom rather handily because of the sheer height difference in those arms. It would have been much more interesting for me on the third round for Devin to just go into a hook with Tom and find out how strong he really is.
Yeah.
You know? Same with Devin.
I agree. We talked about that earlier as well, Bob, with what makes Lavon so dangerous is not only his fundamental strength is at the top level, but his hand and wrist is so big. He's got a 10.5-inch wrist, and a thick hand to go with it. So holding on to Lavon is so problematic just from a physics standpoint.
Right.
So, I agree. As the money in our sport goes up, the bigger the monsters are that are going to turn up and get interested. And we will see the 7'3" giant just turn up that you just go, well, what the hell do you do?
Exactly.
If a 7'3" giant is dedicated to the sport to the same degree in which our current elites are, then it's a different beast.
Right. It's completely different. You know, which is why I think what would be interesting to see is, let's say Levan gets to a point where he's beating Lavon. Okay. And let's say it's this year, next year, whatever. And all of a sudden we don't have another 6'8" monster, and everyone realizes that tall lever is really what the thing is. Well, then let's create a super match between these guys where you got, 6 rounds. 2 of them have to start in a hook. 2 of them have to go to the straps. 2 of them have to be straight up, just for entertainment value. Because if other monsters, 6'8" plus monsters with the strength to back it up, if they don't enter the sport, no one's going to beat Vitaly Levan for a really, really long time.
It's true. It's true.
How old is Vitaly?
I think Vitaly's got to be, I think, mid-30s, I reckon.
Oh, he's that old?
I reckon, just by looking at him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just intuition based on standing next to him. But guys, we have got another match underway, and it looks like a pretty solid technical match here. Ionov versus Sharagovich. Both of these guys looking the part in the strap. They both opted to go to the straps for the first round here. And it looks like we may potentially have a real war about to unfold in our hands. I'm not sure. I think Ivanov in the yellow, I think. But got like he got a pretty decent stop there just above the pad, reviewing the call. I think whether it was a pin or not. But I have a feeling we're about to see a real technical battle and screamer based on that first start. So strap yourselves in.
Looks like Vitaly is a 32-ish.
Is that what it says? 32?
Yeah, there's a couple different websites that said 32. So born in 89.
There you go. Yeah, you know what always amazed me was Pushkar. I think Pushkar passed away when he was 33. He was young. When I realized that I was a year older than Pushkar, I was like, "Whoa, for real?" Like, man. So these guys that are in their early 30s that are at this level, they still have a good another 8 to 10 years where they truly can add strength and truly can still be healthy for the sport.
Right.
Yeah, and if, as you mentioned, Bob, any of them stick around, North American arm wrestlers tend to stick around longer than European arm wrestlers. I mean, Engin Terzi is the exception to that rule, but often I feel like we see Eastern European arm wrestlers in their 20s is when they're at their best, and then they hand over the baton by the time they're in their 30s. But I'd love to see an Eastern European arm wrestler that's at the top stick around and be a 50-year-old dominant legend of the sport. That's cool. I like that sort of stuff.
Right. Well, my theory on that
could do that.
Yeah, my theory is I know a lot of these European arm wrestlers are subsidized. You know, if they win, they earn subsidies, which means the only person earning subsidies is the singular top dog of the sport. So if you don't remain the singular top dog of the sport, you don't get the subsidies. So you just quit. You just go away. You could be the second best Russian in the world, and you're just going to disappear because Zoloff is still beating you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, a few people asking questions in the chat about is the stream still free? Yep, from as far as I can see it, the stream is free and available to anyone. Just head to armbets.tv right now and you'll get access to it. I am anticipating when we get to the elimination match with Dan Mosier and Irakli Saginashvili and subsequently Dave Chaffee and Lavon, I anticipate it's going to flip back to a pay-per-view only for everyone that has already paid. So hopefully that will give us ample warning on that so we can flip over for that. But yeah, it is currently free via the armbets.tv website. So, and we are in, I think, the 4th of 7 matches right now. So we're getting there. We're still probably a little while away from the big matches, but the arm wrestling is getting entertaining. They're starting to look better and better as what I'm seeing here. Yeah, Ivanov and Sharagovich look like two pretty technical arm wrestlers, two pretty solid guys at the table. So,
Ryan, when are you pulling that guy?
Say again.
When are you pulling that other Australian?
Oh, Lachlan. I'm pulling Lachlan October 23rd. Yeah, that's
okay. So wink, wink, nod, nod. You know, the whole wink, wink. And if a guy was going to bet on stakings on that match, how confident should that guy be backing Ryan Bowen?
Bob, you know me well. You know what I do well. And have you met Lachlan? Did you meet Lachlan when Lachlan came to join?
Wasn't he? Yes, because he was there when there was that trio, the 3-team thing when you beat Dan Mosier.
Yep.
I was there at that practice. Okay. That's when you were working. We were pulling, and you were working on the Kings move.
So undeniably, Lachlan is a stronger human, but he sucks at arm wrestling. Let me just say that. And thankfully, this sport is also a combat sport as well. And as much as I love Lachlan, I will exploit his inability to keep up with me in the combat sense wonderfully well. And when those wrists are straight as per the referee's rules, and all the shenanigans go on whilst we're taking a grip that I intend to employ, I will defeat Lachlan Adair. I will probably defeat him.
Okay. I'm going to need to sign off now and go straight to the State Kings website before everyone else sells out your block.
Well, yeah, Lachlan's block sells out fast every damn time because people just see me training with him. Lachlan starts every damn training pool supinated and cupped.
Right.
And I ease in with him and he's too strong. Man, you straighten that damn wrist out and let me hit when I'm in control of the conditions of the ready to go. Yeah, it's a different beast.
Big difference. Yeah. Right now, Lachlan Adair is sold out. Ryan Bowen has 7.4% remaining of this current block.
There you go. Go grab it.
I'm about to grab it. If I wasn't using my phone right now to talk to you guys, I would be using my phone to go grab it.
That's good. Have you staked this match with Dave and Lavon?
I put $100 on Dave, and I honestly don't know if I'm betting with my brain or my heart. You know, Obviously I want Dave to win the whole thing. I want Dave to throw Lavon into a hook, look at him, yawn, and then go to the left, you know, but I don't necessarily believe that's going to happen, you know, but the guy's only got to win one match. And everyone is so funny when they're like, there's no way anyone can go 6-0 or 3-0 or all this stuff. And I'm like, this is arm wrestling, guys. I mean, it's a combat sport and it's a strength sport. And the reality is, if I'm stronger than you in the first match, I'm probably stronger than you in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth match. Yeah. And if you don't have two technical guys going against you or going against each other, 3-0, 6-0, I mean, I don't know why that wouldn't happen all the time.
One thing I want to ask you, Bob, do you see, under any circumstance, now I know you've just mentioned that it'll probably just be a landslide, whichever way is whoever's stronger. But my instinct is that Dave's hand is going to be the thing that's going to be gassing. But I do believe Dave's arm is stronger than Lavon's. And I think there is potential that Lavon tires in his back pressure. And even though Dave's hand is also gassed, that it may be equalized by the fact that Lavon's arm can't finish it. Is there a wrist back position that Dave can survive in?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I could very easily see in the straps both wrists back. And it becomes more of a side pressure game. And then it comes, down to side pressure and endurance. And I could see one of them going from this both wrists back side pressure game and one of them coming up and becoming Jerry Caderet.
Yeah.
And the first one, if they're both in this wrist back side pressure war, the first one to become Jerry Caderet wins the match. I mean, it could, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm not going to predict that, but that's definitely a possibility.
It'd be a great shape to see.
It
would be spectacular. I think that I was just trying to think through my mind. Have I seen Dave ever do that? I can't think of a time. I've seen Lavon press, but I haven't seen Dave. Is that correct? Have you seen Dave press?
I've never seen Dave press, but how often have you ever seen Dave's wrist back?
Yeah.
How difficult is it, Bob, for a guy like Dave or any of these elite guys to be pulling for as long as they can and to really change some of the fundamental things that they have done throughout their career, 10, 20 years, if they know they're going against someone who's really good against what they do? How hard is it to actually change a fundamental, significant part of your arm wrestling style?
I would say it's very difficult. If you've been a side pressure guy your whole life and all of a sudden in 10 weeks time you're trying to perfect a hook or a top roll, then you've got a problem, you know? So, I mean, I think it's very difficult. Now, I'll say this, though. I remember, I'm going to bring up a couple names, Dave Patton and Ray Patton. They were brothers. Everyone knows Dave. Hardly anyone knows Ray. When I first started arm wrestling, I thought Dave is way stronger, but Ray was way more technical. And then I finally saw Dave go up against people that he had a hard match with. And that's when I realized how technically good Dave was. He's way better than his brother Ray, technically. You just don't ever see it because it's never needed. Dave, Chaffee now, he's got a top roll in his bag. Now, I'll grant you that top roll in his bag is in the straps, and we haven't seen that top roll in a long time. But don't think for a second it's not in his bag. It's there. We just don't ever see it because he never has to show it. Yeah. But it's there.
Yeah, I agree. If you're strong, you don't need to be technical. But yeah, certainly because he's so rarely tested in a strength balance. I think his intuition is certainly not as sharp as someone who is grown from a position of being the weaker guy and having to map their way to victory by exposing technical weaknesses in their opponent. I feel like the variations that Dave is going to bring to this match are pretty narrow. We're not going to see a lot of difference. I think the top roll, I mean, he top rolled Trubin quite nicely. He top rolled Gennady a couple of rounds as well, I think, Dave. And I actually can see him taking Lavon's wrist with that top roll. I think Chaffee defeated Trubin better than Lavon did. If you look at their early rounds, they both took the wrist of Trubin. Dave took it from center, where Lavon had the defensive top roll and do it in stages. I believe in the top roll of Dave Chaffee, and I believe when his hand is fresh in round one, I think we'll see it. I think he'll be knuckles up. Lavon will be slightly wrist dropped, looking for a low hand. And
who has the taller arm?
I've never stood by Dave Chaffee, but I think Lavon is slightly taller. I think so.
Right. I'm wondering which the lever though, which is taller. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it plays such a factor, doesn't it?
Right.
Mega.
It can. It can place a big factor. I mean, we've separated our sport by weight class. And in all honesty, it's probably the best way to separate our sport because generally guys who weigh the same are generally the same height. But it'd be interesting if all of a sudden we had a tournament where we didn't care at all about weight and we just measured the height and separated it by height. That would be, it'd be an interesting
Gary
tournament.
Roberts tournament right there. That's what that sounds like.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a Gary Roberts tournament.
I feel like Sasha Andreev is going to have a field day with all the 145-pound guys that he's taking on.
Oh, exactly. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why weight class is the best way to do it. But
Funny. Yeah, but it's true. When I'm preparing for a super match, and I love super matches. I really love super matches because they give you the opportunity to technically really prepare well and analyze and take apart your opponent. The first thing I do when I have an opponent is whether they know it or not, is I find out their arm length from elbow to wrist and from wrist to finger.
Exactly. And that's very
that matters so much to me. Relative to my arm, I need to know exactly, and that to me determines. If I've never touched their hand before, that determines where I'm going round one.
Absolutely. I completely agree. So I've got the IFA World Championships coming up, and, I just want to know who's the tallest son of a gun who's coming into who's taller than me, because I hate long arms. But generally speaking, I have a taller, especially when I was in the 154s, my arm was, really tall, and I arm wrestled a particular way, but now I arm wrestle differently because I'm going against the same length arms as mine. And if I go against the taller arm, I got to pull them completely different.
Yeah. Well, you was particularly you as that King's move ace of yours. I get the taller arm is just it threatens your wrist and your pronation security, doesn't it? So it's like ugh.
Yes. And so I've worked on how to maintain my pronation and my wrist when going against the taller arm. And just honestly, just in the last couple of weeks, I have really fine-tuned how to arm wrestle to protect that. And just in the last couple of practices, I think whoever I'm going against in the Worlds is going to have a real problem.
Nice.
Are you going open, Bob? Are you doing Masters?
No.
Or
I'm only going Grandmasters. And honestly, I feel I could probably fare well in the Open. I have I'm going to be 56 here in about a week or so. And even if I got through the Masters easily, which I do not think I'm going to do at all, and if for somehow I feel great 2 days later to pull the Open, I've just experienced it. I've gone into things like that knowing, okay, I'm probably broke down, even though I feel great, and then injuring something or doing something bad. I just won't risk it.
Yep.
Won't risk it.
All right, gentlemen, I got to head out. I'll be doing a live stream after all this business while you're doing your review, I'm sure, Ryan.
Beautiful.
So enjoy the rest of the show, boys.
Thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Anytime. You guys enjoy the festivities.
All right, take care, man.
Bye-bye.
So,
Yeah, so we are at we're probably still a few matches away from the main events getting away, guys. So people in the comments are asking how far away are we from the match. It's hard to say exactly, but I would anticipate we're at least half an hour away from seeing Dan Mosier and Iraq step on the stage. With the moment we've got Ianov and Sharagovich 4-0 to Ianov, and looking like that will continue that way. But I think we have two more undercard matches to go after this one before we get to the ones we're all waiting for. So yeah.
wow.
So
now, why is I heard you talk a little bit about it. Why is Lavon coming to Australia?
Yes. I can't publicly make mention of it because Lavon hasn't publicly made mention of it yet. But he's here on an 11-week contract for I guess for just call it work, an opportunity that is quite big and significant for him.
Well, I guess I've heard rumor as to why he's coming, but knowing that he hasn't put anything out public, I won't even speculate on the rumor because maybe it's true, maybe it's not. So I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah,
but that will be now. Do you know where he'll be in Australia? And more to the point, is he close to you?
Yes, he's in my state, and he's within 20 minutes drive. It's like it's the best thing that could have happened to me this year. And
so you're how many YouTube followers do you have right now?
I think we just cracked 44,000 today.
And how many does Lavon have?
I think he's at about 53,000. He's gone past me.
Oh, well, by the end of that thing, you're going to have 7.2 million, maybe.
But the opportunity, like I've been wanting to just get an update and test my arm just to establish just an understanding of where I sit. And Lavon will be able to give me that in some respect. He'll be able to at least give me his opinion on where I sit relative to everyone he knows. So that's the next best thing. And the content will be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's cool.
I actually have one thing that I hope to do with Lavon when he's here. That'll be an interesting challenge, and Devon is even going to potentially put it on Stake Kings. So I'll be curious to see what your opinion is, given that you like the steak. Picture this: 20 minutes on the timer. The top 8 arm wrestlers in Brisbane against Levan, king of the table. Round and round we go. Will Levan be pinned in 20 minutes by anyone or not?
How long is the break in between matches?
And there's no break. Continuous.
Oh,
20 minutes.
Are both you or are you Lachlan and Jordan Davis there?
Yes.
How many total guys in the round?
8.
Just 8 guys?
8 guys.
So he'll get a 5-man break between the 3 of you.
Because Brisbane's deep too. Our 8th ranked guy is still strong. So
yeah. I think you guys will eventually beat him. Yeah. You'll have to be smart about it though, because I can tell you, this is what we used to do to John all the time. And you'll need to be smart about it. Yeah. Like if you feel the way to beat Lavon is to go through his hand, then everyone has to top roll him, even if you're not a top roller. You've got to try to top roll him.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think I have a feeling, I don't know, is his pronator or is his hand going to be the thing we attack? We have to decide.
I don't know.
As a side pressure guy, I want to attack his pronator.
Right. And there can't, you don't want to use a strap at all, ever. Because him putting the strap on and off, just giving him a break.
Giving him a break, yeah.
You can't let him get any break at all, you know.
And the thing is, as well, it depends on if he's if he's just aggressive from center, bang, we're in trouble. But if he gives us time to get into our zone and then he pins us, that's going to add up quick.
Right. Yeah. Well, if there's money on the line, then he's probably just going to be, punching people down.
Yeah, but
what John used to do with us is John, basically how John always worked out. I've said it before on one of my channel things, is he'd just grip us and let us do anything we want, and he would hold us until, whoa, there's a king's move right there.
There we go. Not
Watch
bad.
this guy in the yellow. Boom.
Got the stop nicely. Look at this. The Kings were coming through. Good shoulder defense from Ironov, but Sharagovich in a great position there. That almost looks like the King's hook. That he's very cupped. Yeah.
Right.
We got.
But they called a foul for center of the table there.
What's your opinion on what's commonly known as the King's move versus what we just saw there, which is kind of the King's hook? How do you what's the difference in your opinion between the two? Between a pronated King's move where you've got the guy's wrist versus what we just saw then?
I don't, as far as what's my opinion of them, do I like them in the sport? Or
well, in terms of the technical variation, like the King's move inside the hook versus the King's move as a top roll.
Oh, no, I think they're both very good variations. And as long as done legally, because everyone, whenever you mention the word King's move, everyone pictures I'm in the losing side of the table under the thing and it's bull crap. You're right. That is bull crap. That's why it's not legal. So, but if you're in a winning position, even in the center of the table, that's illegal. But if you're in a winning position underneath the table, whether you've pronated the guy's hand out, flopped his wrist or not, both legitimate, both dangerous moves, both easily beatable. But I think that if you can pronate the guy's wrist out, you're going to have a much easier time beating that guy or winning the match. If you're in that hook, that is actually probably a much harder position to win or to beat that guy. Because if I'm down here in a King's move and I've got a hook, just the fact that I was able to get to that position tells me you didn't have the ability to take my hand in the first place.
Yeah.
which means you're never going to take my hand, which means you can't top roll. You clearly can't beat me. You're not going to be able to top roll your way out of it. You're not going to be able to hook your way out of it. And you're kind of screwed, you know? Whereas if I'm in that same king's move position, but I've rolled your hand out, well, I've given you the flop wrist press.
Yeah.
I just gave it to you.
Yeah.
And realize if I'm in that king's move, I'm underneath the table, and I just gave you the flop wrist press. All you have to do is get me back to the center of the table, and I'm in a fouling position. You don't have to actually pin me to win a match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
will refs call it though? That seems to be the historical thing.
That's the big. Yeah, no, you just need refs to call it. And you know, I've given refs a hard time sometimes for not calling things, but let's face it, reffing is the hardest job in the sport. You don't get paid anything. I mean, it's a joke to think that we should have NFL, NBA quality refs when these guys are flying across the world and earning $100. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And the King's move, while the move itself has been around for a long time, the abundance of people with straight arms using the King's move has not been around for a long time. Referees don't know to be looking for it. They just don't, they're not used to it. So it doesn't get called, but it's getting called now. It's getting more and more, you know, in the mind.
It's become a whole lot more common now. I guess made famous through the WAL series with Michael Todd and then Devin Larratt employing it to get a lot of views and pretty significant victories. It is weird when you see novice arm wrestlers using the King's move. It's just very odd, like deliberately using it. It's like,
you know, when they started that arm bet app and you had people signing into it, you know, some of my arm wrestlers got contacted by these newbie arm wrestlers, and they come to practice, and one of them comes to practice, and he first day specifically asked, can I teach him the King's move? I will not tell you the expletives I used, and said, get the heck out of here. No, that's ridiculous. No, you know.
Are we gonna see a King's move tonight from Dave Chaffee or from
no?
Lavon?
You may see a legal one. You'll see an open top roll. You will see a very open top roll. Yes, I do believe you might see that. But as far as shoulder going below the table in a losing position, no, I don't think you're going to see that. And if you do, it'll get called. So.
Bob, we have got this match coming up right now. This is the 5th of 7 matches. So this is getting exciting now. This is the match. I believe the match after this is going to be Dan Mosier and Irakli. So we might start drawing our focus now. You're welcome to stick around, Bob, and add what you see in these matches as well. But for everyone tuning in, we might start ramping up our focus on the matches here.
I would, I'd love to stick around. This is fun because I'm able to get. What's interesting is I'm watching the feed on my wife's computer, and I haven't actually logged into my ArmBet account on her computer. So that's how I knew I'm watching this for free. So I assume it's going to kick me off. I'm going to have to log in. There'll be a tense moment there. But yeah, I'd love to stick around. I'm going to go make me a little protein shake lunch.
No problem.
I'm just going to let the phone keep going.
I'll be just
let the phone keep going. Yeah.
All righty. As we say, see it, Bob Brown to get his protein shake. We got Kalinchenko and these names: Kalinchenko and Usharuli. All right, we're just going to go with that. Kalinchenko and Usharuli. The match about to start. You can see here, good, interesting negotiation between these two gentlemen here. A very dominant start there. The high knuckles position there, absolutely coming through for the victory. Straight away, 1-0 to Kalinchenko. Usharuli not really into that match there, he'll have to look for an adjustment. The high knuckles position of Kalachenko was simply too good there. Made light work of that. Do we get replays? I want to see a replay of that. I only just caught it as I was doing a bunch of other things, but quite an interesting opening there. Usharuli is going to have to, I think he was looking ultimately for a slip and a straps, but Kalachenko not allowing it. The high knuckles position, fingers were nice and secure, and from there, basic side pressure took the victory. So we'll see what happens in round 2 if there is any adjustment from that. But yeah, lots to look forward to tonight. I'm getting it's exciting now to know that Dan Mosier is up next. That is very cool. All right, so 1-0. Let me go, guys. Again, I don't know the background of these two guys a little. So if you know the caliber of these guys, do let me know. We're on round 2. Pick up to the people that are saying to refresh my feed to bring it up to speed. I don't want to do that. I've got a live feed going at the moment. I don't want to potentially lose it given the dodginess of these feeds. I will just keep it going as it is. But Kalachenko up 1-0. Usharuli. Let's see what he's got. Round 2 coming up. All right, you can see negotiating the grip again here. Kalachenko, you can see with that lower grip, Usha really looking for the knuckles up. He's got the back pressure on, but the finger containment from Kalachenko is looking like the weapon of choice at the moment. You can see that as the grip is being negotiated, the pronation from Usha really is being constantly searched for. He's regripping and pronating, trying to get higher into the hand of Kalachenko. But Kalachenko's fingers are his main weapon. He's not leading with back pressure. He's looking to contain. He wants to contain and then add side pressure from there. Kalachenko once again negotiating the grip, not willing to start unless he feels he's got security over Usharuli's back pressure. So the key there being, I think Usharuli is really pushing here. He's up against the ropes. He has to slip. Usharuli is not holding on in any respects. All loaded back pressure. Kalachenko, containment, high knuckles, fingers are looking solid. He's waiting for the go. Referee, here it comes. They're close to asking for getting the wrist straight off the knuckles. Kalachenko looking for the kill and gets it. You can see once again the finger containment from Kalachenko sufficient to contain the back pressure of Usharuli, and the pronation added to take the victory. 2-0. There we go. Looks like this is going to be one-way traffic. Kalachenko up 2-0. Usharuli really going to need to find a variation. At this point in time, he's tried the same thing twice with a fail on both of them. Unable to make any progress in that tactic. Really needs to make an alternative attempt there. All right, so Usharuli, what are the options there for someone like Usharuli who is sitting there at the moment with all that back pressure? The reason he's doing that, okay, Usharuli is loading heavily on back pressure. He's committing fully to pronation and back pressure simply because if he goes to hold on, he can feel, he can sense that Kalachenko's hand is superior. So he is running. He is really running and looking for a way out. He wants the strap, and he's being prevented. At this point in time, he'll probably, I would imagine we're going to see Usharuli make a change in tactics. He's probably going to hold on this one. He's probably going to go knuckles up, maybe get some side pressure, add some wrist flexion supination. But you can see the look on Kalachenko's face. He's comfortable, doing it easy. All right. Everyone's telling me to hit refresh. All right, I'm going to hit refresh for you guys. If I lose it, I'm going to kill you. All right, I'm hitting refresh. Okay, I've hit refresh, and they're taking a grip now. Kalachenko still 2-0. Okay, so it looks like once again, Kalenchenko, as he's taking this grip, he's all about containing the pronator and the back pressure of Usharuli. Usharuli this time being less, he's looking for the ref's grip, is Usharuli. He's not being active in taking a grip. He's got to be careful not to be fouled out by the referee, because it is, of course, a rule that you must attempt to take a grip. But Usharuli right now, again, he's gone with a no-load approach. Last round, he was really loaded up and Kalenchenko was containing him. But this time, less load from Usharuli. He's going to try to use a hit and speed to try to get the slip. I expect him to dump his wrist and try to pronate while Kalenchenko holds on. There it is. He gets the position to slip. He did dump the wrist. Devin Larratt style dumping of the wrist, gets to the straps. That was his objective. This will be interesting to see if he has something more now for Kalenchenko. It was the first surge from Kalenchenko could have most definitely achieved a pin from Usharuli, but that underhand pronated, not holding on tactic did work and has earned himself the strap. So it'll be interesting to see right now that it's in the strap. You can see Usharuli is nodding to his corner man. He is more confident that he's got something for this match now that Kalenchenko is in the strap. Oh, hang on a second. Look at this. Are they strapping or not? Was there a foul called? Unfortunate for Usharuli. Despite the slip happening, there has been a foul called. So we are restarting that one once again. Kalenchenko still up to 0. Usharuli looking for the slip. He wants the strap. Once again, this time loading a little more is Usharuli. Kalenchenko, high grip, finger containment, being warned by the referee, get his shoulder back. All right, ref script. They're off to the ref script. This will probably help Usharuli in terms of him getting the ability to get away from the hand of Kalenchenko. Kalenchenko, at this stage, his finger flexion has just been too much. And the back pressure pronation of Usharuli has not been successful in getting to the strap. Kalenchenko now looking very calm and composed. Usharuli nodding, looking to his corner as often as he can, trying to find that approval. The ref script will be interesting to see what happens. I think this is going to favor Kalenchenko. The aggression from center has been solid from him so far, and there hasn't been any threat to his hand. Usharuli is going to look to dump his wrist and slip underneath the fingers of Kalenchenko. Will he get that slip away? No, he won't. Usharuli, nothing for his opponent, Kalenchenko. 3-0, very comfortable win there in the ref script. We got a one-sided match here, Bob.
Yeah. I just got back. I made me my lunch, which is a protein shake. Oh, here you go.
Who we got there?
John Berzink cup.
Nice.
So when here's my shameful plug for my bar. This is where we have the tournament every year. And yeah, so you know how you go to a tournament and they'll give away T-shirts when you enter?
Yeah.
I give away a cup.
Give away cups. Good stuff. Yeah, guys, just for everyone in the YouTube comments section who is making mention of the delay, the reason we are delayed is we are broadcasting via Zoom, which allows us to have multiple people in. So Zoom brings with it about a 20-second delay or maybe not a 20-second, maybe a 5 to 10-second delay to the YouTube feed. So I do apologize for that, but that's what's going on here. All right,
Yeah.
3-0. Round 4 coming up. I don't think there's anything that Usharuli is really going to be able to do based on what I've seen so far. I really would like to see Kalenchenko voluntarily let Usharuli get to the straps just to make it interesting, but he probably won't do that until he's secured this next round and the victory. But Stoney faced Kalenchenko there. He's not worried at all. He's got this wrapped up.
And I'll be honest, I don't know either of these guys. I'm very impressed with your ability to pronounce their names.
No, I just picked something and run with it as though I know. I could be getting it entirely wrong. And I probably am, to be honest.
Right. Perfect.
All right, here we go.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll watch the match.
Right.
Yeah.
Round 4, we've got negotiating the grip at the moment. Again, it'll be much the same from Kalenchenko. His finger flexion has been significant enough that he hasn't been stressed at all yet by Usharuli. Usharuli, first 2 rounds, really loaded heavily with back pressure and pronation to no effect. Round 3, we did see a slip, but there was a foul in there, so we didn't get to the strap. So the foul really was an unfortunate one from Usharuli. He managed to get the slip on the back of almost a no load situation, but the ref script was no good. So you can see him now returning to a more heavier attempted back pressure. Once again, lots of grip negotiation going on there. Kalenchenko not willing to settle unless he's confident in his finger flexion, and likewise Usharuli constantly adjusting, looking to make it uncomfortable for Kalenchenko. But the ref script naturally called after about that 30 seconds of these guys negotiating the grip. Last ref script, we saw Kalenchenko very comfortably take control of the hand and wrist. Don't know. I honestly don't know that Usharuli has much up his sleeve in terms of variation that he can try. We've seen load, we've seen no load, we've seen posting, we've seen drop wrist. None of it has worked so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have Irakli versus Mosier up next. Do not miss it. This will be a special match. Dan Mosier from the USA up against the Georgian national champion at 95 kilos. It's going to be special.
How many people are watching this thing right now?
We got 2.3 thousand in.
Wow.
Here. Yeah. No,
Wow.
Good crowd. Good crowd.
Yeah.
All right. Ref script. Both set, both looking steady. Not a lot of load. You can see the shoulder carve from Usharuli. He's looking. He's fairly carved in. He's done well to manipulate the ref into allowing that carve, and he's got a good position, taking the wrist of Kalenchenko.
Oh.
There we go. Wow, look at that. That was the best by a mile. The real key there. The real key there, what I saw was Usharuli managed to negotiate in the ref script a carved in position. If you have a look at where his elbow was placed on the far right of the pad, and his forearm was very significantly carved in, and he didn't hit. He just maintained his position, maintained height, and he protected his pronation. And subsequently, Kalenchenko's hand was unable to contain it. And there we go. This interesting. The match is not over. If he can find that again, he's in the match. But right now, Kalenchenko with the opportunity to do it again. The straps, you can see the carve in from Usharuli. Definitely that forearm is carved in during the strap application. Kalenchenko, however, I would expect him to take this very seriously now after what he's just felt. He's just recognized that his hand isn't entirely safe in this match. So he's probably going to explode into an aggressive side pressure and wrist flexion attack, I would imagine. But Usharuli must be feeling confident that he's just felt something that worked after being trounced 3-0 so far. Buckle on the hand of Kalenchenko too does assist Usharuli in getting his pronation and back pressure secure. You can see already, again, Kalenchenko a little bit agitated, talking to the ref more. Usharuli maintaining that high vertical forearm. He's at the top right of the pad, looking to protect his pronation. You can see that he's bunching the thumb up as well nicely. That's generally an indicator of really looking to protect that pronation. He wants to threaten the hand of Kalenchenko. Here we go. A lot of chatter from Kalenchenko. He's nervous. Usharuli's quiet. I think Usharuli's feeling what he wants to feel. Kalenchenko a little nervous about how this one's going to play. Wants the victory right now. He wants to get this match done. Again, unsettled. Kalenchenko really unsettled here. Usharuli has found a lane, and I think Kalenchenko knows it. Kalenchenko knows that there is a lane where he is in trouble. He's complaining.
Yeah, this is where this is the problem with referees. She should just say foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're in a ref's grip and he keeps moving. Say foul.
Yeah. Here we go. Hands are being closed. I feel like Usharuli has a real shot right here. Kalenchenko nervous, jittery. Usharuli high pronated. There it is. Early. There's the foul. And is this going to be the win? Early start from Kalenchenko. he is in trouble. This match could be turning right here. Usharuli has found the lane. He was unable to find the lane in all 3 rounds up to here. And we can see this drastic turn in the body language now. Kalenchenko is worried. You can see that. It's written all over his face. He's talking, he's jittery, he's moving in the go. He's trying to go early. Usharuli, solid as a rock. Staying high, protecting pronation. Here's the go. It's gone into the hook. Kalenchenko elbow fouling as he was driving for the hook, and there's the win. He's on the board. Usharuli is back in this match. Interesting that Kalenchenko then drove to force the hook. Usharuli was defending it with the attempted outside pressure. It actually never went all the way into the hook. It was looking like it was going to be balanced before that foul happened. So interesting standpoint. How do you see it, Bob?
So I didn't see the first 3 matches. Did any of the first 3 matches go to a strap?
No, all 3. No.
So
strap.
that's what's in. All 3 were outside the strap.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So you notice, and you even called it out, when they were inside the strap, they were he was pulling his thumb across a little bit and backing out his thumb, making it much more difficult for Kalenchenko to get his hand set all the way behind. Well, that's where, he's crying because he's not getting the ref or the grip he's used to getting at practice. So that's why you need to practice.
And that's the thing. You can see it written all over Kalenchenko's body.
Oh,
how uncomfortable he is once he knows that Usharuli's now found a lane, and now now it's up to Kalenchenko to adjust again. If they play that exact same,
it'll be in. Yeah. So if I'm Kalenchenko, one, I don't want to slip with this guy because he's figured something out in the straps for sure. But I have a feeling he's not going to be able to stop it now. The slip is probably going to happen. They're going to go to the straps. He's going to try to back out that thumb again, but now he's going to have the buckle on the back of his hand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this will be a trickier round. But whether people want to debate on it or not, the buckle does make a difference. In terms, I don't know whether it's you're under the watchful eye of that head referee as well. There are just millimeters that you can't get away with when you're on that side of the table that you can get away with on the other side. It's just a reality. It does feel different, especially in this situation. All right, here we go. Round 5 coming up. Usharuli looking to make the comeback. Pressure now firmly on Kalenchenko. You can see Usharuli's confidence has grown. He's aggressively demonstrating right now to Kalenchenko, look, I'm going to take your wrist. He's doing that off the back of the pad, disregard for the rule, just to show the dominance, just to remind Kalenchenko. But Kalenchenko is going to want to end this right now. He doesn't want straps. He won his first 3 rounds outside of straps. He's going to look to kill this round right here. He's going to be aggressive in the hand. He's, once again, Kalenchenko regripping. You can see he wants to feel comfortable. He wants to know that he's got the pronator of Usharuli under control. Usharuli's going to want to load heavy, and he's going to want to slip the straps. This is going to be the determining factor where they get the straps. And there it is, Kalenchenko.
Oh,
boom. Getting the job done outside of straps. Good adjustment. And good victory there. Usharuli will be disappointed because he did feel that lane as an opportunity. You can see the celebrations from Kalenchenko. Good adjustment there, Rob.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he held on a lot tighter with the bottom part of his hand. His pinky and his ring finger was able to secure that hook and took him right down.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
But as we can see, we just had Kalenchenko just slammed him because he had that slight adjustment. The other guy, I mean, you can be getting slammed by someone and be millimeters away from beating them.
Yeah.
You can be very, very close to beating someone while getting slammed by them.
Yeah. And it's really interesting you say that because that is totally true. And it's actually something very relevant to our next match with Dan Mosier coming up. Dan Mosier slams people consistently, but 100% there's you're millimeters away from a stop with Dan every time. And it's, can you find it? Can you find that little zone where the stop is?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the tactics used from Usharuli here are a tactic that I expect to see Irakli Saginashvili use tonight. The Usharuli's successful round, if you have a look at his elbow positioning, it was high and right, and he really just protected his pronation through his thumb. He didn't hold on, and he just simply stayed high and right. And I think that is going to be a really critical thing for Saginashvili in the next round.
Yes, no, I agree.
It's dead rubber here. Are they gonna go into a hook or something?
This one, yeah, I mean, well, no, if I'm you're sure of Billy, I'm still I'm gonna go for the win, and I'm still trying to do the same move I did from this side. He's got to attack his pinky a little harder. He should drop his knuckles just a little bit and give a little more pressure on the pinky, and I think he'll fold him over.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Round 6, final round of this undercard match. Kalenchenko, Usharuli. You can see again heavy posting from Usharuli, lower grip, looking for containment from Kalenchenko.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to go to strap. He feels best in this situation out of strap. Kalenchenko.
Yeah. And he's going high posting knuckles up. And in my opinion, he should drop his knuckles and then post, and he'd get a lot more pressure on Kalenchenko's pinky and open up his hand.
Yeah. Referee bring it back to center, getting it square, getting the shoulders, getting the wrist straight. You can see loading there from Usharuli. And Kalenchenko not allowing that load to be in effect, lifting his elbow. Of course, the one thing you can do to your opponent in arm wrestling is you can never force them to load with you. You can always no load. It's one thing that a good arm wrestler on a technical sense can always dictate. Someone wants to load, you just let them pick you up.
You're right. Absolutely.
All right, so Kalenchenko using the rules to his advantage there quite well, not playing the game of that load and pronation. It's gone to the ref script now. They're giving the indication of where they want their thumbs. If you remember, the slip happened when Usharuli really got a significant carve in that round that he did win. It was during the ref script that he got a decent carve in, and he actually buckled the hand of Kalenchenko outside of straps. It's been the one time that he's done that. Let's see if he can do it again. Looks like he's got a decent amount of carve in this time. Hard to see exactly, but there it is. He's got the hand and wrist. We missed the go. The camera wasn't on the go. There's a foul on Kalenchenko, but Usharuli looking good there. Had control of the hand and wrist. Was probably going to win that round as it was.
And you notice that when he took his hand, I know we missed it, but his knuckles were dumped. His back of his wrist was up, and that's how you got to come through the bottom of that guy's hand.
Absolutely. Usharuli looking to just get some pride back in this one. He wants to show, because he certainly did feel, I think, outgunned. The first 3 rounds, it was a very one-sided match. It looked like he wasn't in there. So he's done well to come back, and he wants to make a point of that in this final round, that he's still there. You can see him loading early. Oh, he gets away with it there. Kalenchenko conceding, but no, they've called the foul on Usharuli. He did go early. I definitely appeared.
Yeah.
That one. Restart one more time. Kalenchenko probably starting to show that he's not that interested in it. He's going to try to make it potentially look like he just let it go.
That's what I've always thought about these 6-round matches. You know, once you're up 4-0, like, why continue?
What do you think about Lavon's declaration of the 6-0 for his entire super match career? He hasn't yet around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's great to go for that, you know, and obviously if you're up 4-0 and you want to keep trying to win, then you just keep trying. But didn't I also, well, I know I saw on Facebook, someone said that he was gonna hook Dave.
I did see that.
So,
That's if he's up 4-0 and he's feeling good, maybe, but it'd be a ballsy move. But as Kalenchenko has just taken the victory 5-1, he managed to, outside of the straps, contain the pronation of Usharuli and drive to the side with the hook to get the victory. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready now. Next match up is the USA's Dan Mosier up against Georgian Irakli Saginashvili. Each national champions within their respective weight categories. Really big and special match coming up. But yeah,
now,
Bob, that hook on the hook from Levan would be interesting. I don't think he's going to do it. I think that was just talk.
Right. Well, and here's the deal. That's what if let's say he gets up 4-0 and it's solidified. If you're, I guarantee you, if you're John Brzenk, you're going to test the guy wherever he's strong once you're up 4-0. But are you going to test the guy knowing everyone has staked you to go 6-0?
Yeah, that's true.
Lavon going to feel the pressure of, I better not try to hook this guy because I don't want to let down my staking fans.
Yeah.
That's
the weird line of legality and things like that starts to come in. Yeah. Because historically we've seen many matches in the 6th round just concede. Dennis Saflinkov did that with Devon, for instance. Like it's not uncommon at all. But yeah, if staking's involved in this on that effect, then yeah, you can't do that.
All of a sudden there's going to be some, especially if that, let's say that happens, like Lavon's up 4-0 and 5-0, they decide to go into a hook and Lavon wins. Now Lavon's like proven, hey, yep, I'm the bad dude, and tries some other move and loses, or just it's kind of obvious that he just let it go. Oh man, the stakings world's going to go nuts.
Yeah, that's one of the trickiest things behind bringing betting into the sport. I know I personally looked into it years ago about expanding that. I thought that could be a business direction, and the legalities were just too much. The licensing and regulation fees were enormous. It was like $100,000 a year for me to maintain a betting website on international sport. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I tried when I was down in Vegas at a couple of tournaments. I went over to the sports book and talked to the managers about what would it take to get arm wrestling to be parimutuel betting. And if you don't know what parimutuel betting is, it's like betting on a horse race. When you bet on a horse race, the house cannot lose. They make money, period. So there's really no risk for a casino to do parimutuel betting on an event. But of course, they can only do it on an event that's in Las Vegas. So, but they can just do it. They have the license and everything that needs to happen. It's just, it needs to be in Vegas in order to do it.
Bob, I've just seen a few people in the comments because I have the stream muted. We have Dan Mosier stepping up on the table. However, I'm seeing people just say they're going to take a 15-minute break. That sounds to me like we might be flipping over to a pay-per-view only scenario. So we'll see what happens if this stream does change or not. But you can see Dan Mosier there on the left of the screen if you are still watching. He looks rock solid. Look at the shoulders on Dan.
Oh, man. He's definitely a specimen to look at. There's no question about it. That guy, I went down there last Christmas and practiced at his house. I just, Craig Touillet was down there, and, Craig Touillet lives here in my guest house. And I went down there for Christmas, and Dan Mosier is just a tank. I mean, he's just he's a piece of stone.
he really is. So
but I'm curious how I'm trying to figure out if there's the pay-per-view here.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to log in and see it as well. I've still got the free stream still seems to be running, so I will keep that up just in case that does remain. But I'm just going to attempt.
Okay, I just went back to armbets.tv and it's now asking me to sign up or log in. So I will do that.
All right. And yeah, it looks like I've just logged in as well, having already previously. Oh, I gotta mute this. How do I mute this damn thing?
Yeah, I need to do something here on my phone real quick.
Yeah, do apologize, YouTube, as we just sort this out to make sure that we have access to this for you guys. We want to make sure we get the match and don't miss the commentary of this one. As you can see, Dan Mosier and Irakli Zarakashvili up next. I believe we're on a 15-minute break before this one kicks off. It's going to be good, though. Muting it.
Okay. My screen is, well,
You good?
it's up, it's running. I'm live, and I'm pretty sure this is now because my screen said you're logged out. You have to sign in to see it. I signed in and now I'm seeing it, but the quality isn't, it's weird.
Yeah. I get the same. Funnily enough, I'm struggling to mute it. I'm just trying to find where the damn mute button is on this stream, and it's not there. But YouTube, we it's probably 10 minutes away from the big moments happening. Well, let me see if I'd like to screen share with you guys whilst we're waiting. Screen share with you guys a few things about Irakli Zarakashvili. Let me see if I can find his stuff. This guy, Irakli Zarakashvili, is truly a specimen in the sense of his bicep strength is something that really does surprise me and a lot of people in terms of what he can do in the gym and how that translates to the arm wrestling world. So let me see if I can find for you some footage of Irakli doing his thing.
Yeah, the whole audience has cleared out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see Dan there with his wife, Lisa.
Bear with me, guys. I do apologize as I get this. I definitely am not a tech guy when it comes to organizing live streams. Might ask a poll. Let's see if we can ask a poll.
What are you trying to figure out?
Oh, at the moment, I just put a screen share. I'm just trying to find a video of Irakli that I put together the other day that shows all of his stuff. What was it called? It was a Hulk Apprentice. Okay, there we go. Found it. Whilst we're waiting, why not have a look at this sort of stuff?
So have you literally been up all night long? Did you sleep at
Yeah,
all?
well, I had about an hour and a half sleep, so that's all good. All right, guys, I'm about to share a screen with you right here. Should be popping up any second now. And this is Irakli, a feature I did on him. Let's have a look at this whilst we... the Hulk in the world of arm wrestling. He's training up his apprentice, Irakli Zarakashvili from Georgia, in preparation for his super matchup against USA's Dan Mosier. Here's why they're so cool. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another YouTube video. As you just saw in the intro there, the Hulk's apprentice, Irakli Zarakashvili, plans on crushing the USA's Dan Mosier at the top 8 event, the elimination qualifier, let's call it, for the last and final position into the PAL's top 8. Of course, John Brzenk was in the position, the greatest arm wrestler of all time. He's been vacated there, not able to participate any longer. And this match here between the Georgian national champion, the multiple Georgian national champion, and USA's rank 1, Daniel Mosier, will be taking place on the 5th of September. And it is genuinely exciting. Now, you might want to ask, who is... All right, the frame rate is terrible. You can see what I wanted to show you guys was Irakli doing these ridiculous lifts that he's got here. You can see the amount of weight that Irakli puts on his weighted pull-ups. It's crazy. Literally 90 kilos hanging between his legs here and still able to significantly do that. That shows you his bicep and his lat strength is really something special. His strict curl, 75 kilos, easy. Does it like it's nothing. 85 kilos, does it again like it's nothing. And then we see a 100 kilo strict curl from Irakli Saginashvili. This right here, 100 kilo strict curl at 95 kilos body weight is significant. Not many people on earth can do that right there. A 100 kilo strict curl from Irakli. Crazy numbers. Bob, how many people do you know that can do a 100 kilo strict curl?
I did it once with a hoist. I used a crane. It helped me. Otherwise, nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the same. It's, to me, that's a real indicator of the strengths and the style of arm wrestling that Irakli brings to the table. Anyone with that much back pressure is going to be a threat to Dan's hand.
Yeah. Now, I did just notice, I didn't realize it was Dave Chaffee, but just sitting to the right of where Dan Mosier is standing up, that's Dave Chaffee. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I just saw there Dave warming up as well. His wife holding on with two hands, and he was warming up that back pressure and that reflection. Gonna be really interesting. These two American athletes have a real opportunity here. I feel like not just Dave Chaffee, but Dan Mosier as well. They've got an opportunity to really provide a very large update to the balance of power within the world of arm wrestling. I think in the last 2 years, without as many tournaments going on as usual, there's been a global opinion that European arm wrestlers are just stronger. I've heard it 100 times. Both these guys have the opportunity to update that status.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing, and I would still say the same thing right now. In all honesty, even if Dave and Dan both win today, I would still say the same thing, because for example, you give me the 10th best arm wrestler in Russia at 95 kilograms and put them against the 10th best arm wrestler we have in the US, I say Russia destroys them.
Yeah.
They're just much, much deeper. But, you know,
they are
story.
Yeah, the cultural questions behind that, and like what is it about the culture of arm wrestling in that region of the world relative to North American arm wrestling in particular. Another observation for me is that the average age of North American elites is significantly older than the average age of European elites. And again, I feel like that's reflected upon what you mentioned earlier about the pay. A lot of the nations, Georgia, I know, is one. Russia's definitely where athletes are paid by their federation. So as soon as you're not the top guy, you're not paid, or you're back to work and you stop arm wrestling. Where American arm wrestling tends to be more commercial, tends to be more sponsor based, let's call it. And so if you are the personality, you don't lose that regardless of your rank. You're still the personality. You can still get the sponsors, still make the money, so you can stick around a little longer in it. So I think that's part of it. But there's I don't know, there's probably a lot more to it than that as well. But East versus West truly, to me, is a very fascinating comparison. Very few athletes, John Brzenk, the best exception, very few athletes have been able to dominate both.
Right. Yes. No, very true. And you know, I'm not saying we don't have athletes that can't go over to Europe and do extremely well, but generally speaking, it's financial limitations that they prevent that from happening. You know,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
we're at an interesting place in the sports history as well, in respect to the way that fans watch the sport. We've got YouTube at the biggest it's ever been for arm wrestling, and multiple arm wrestlers now being able to draw a genuine income simply from YouTube itself, and that is really changing the outlook on what's possible.
right.
Particularly, we're starting to like we've all, as I said, we've always had that commercial opportunity in the Western arm wrestling, but to see athletes like Lavon now making significant money just on his own in YouTube is
Right.
a big game changer for, I think, Eastern arm wrestling.
And in my opinion, it's going to create problems in Eastern arm wrestling. You know, when you've got these guys who have looked to their federation or their government in order to earn money, well, then they do what their federation or government or sponsor or whatever tells them to do.
Yeah.
But a guy like Lavon, you know, he is under the control of Igor. I would venture to bet that Lavon probably doesn't want to be. I'm certain Lavon would have loved to grab a hold of Michael Todd when they were in Dubai together and see what's what.
Yeah.
But sure, he was instructed not to. And imagine if Lavon has enough, you know, financial freedom to just say, "Yeah, I'm going to do what I want."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, you put if Levan was rocking around with 500,000 subscribers, him gripping up with Michael Todd, albeit a casual grip up, is going to make $10,000 for him, that video.
Oh yeah.
So it's a very yeah, I agree. The shift is on.
People act differently when they are in control of their own destiny and not under someone else's control. And it's, you know, which is a good thing and a bad thing. You know, there's a lot more organization in Eastern European or just Europe in general because of their structure, and they do follow the guidelines of people above them. Where here in the US, we're a complete free-for-all. We just do whatever we want to do, which is why we don't have structure here in the US. If we did, we'd be way better off, but we don't have any structure.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting balance between the two, isn't it? Between the freedom of an athlete who's got the financial control of their own brand versus contracts and leagues. Like traditionally, the WAL in North America was signing their big stars for 5 years. Michael Todd, Devin Lane, all that. But we're now, there's no way Devin will sign for 5 years. Not a chance.
Yep.
No way any of them would. And it's because they have that ability to earn an income. So I feel like there's an evolution occurring where the athletes and the leagues are going to need to compromise and really, maybe, I don't know whether it's 1 year contracts or even that's probably too restrictive. It's probably event-based contracts solely.
I remember when UAL and WAL came out with the contracts, I said, you guys you're about to kill the sport. And effectively they did. There are ways that you can have your cake and eat it too. I understand why there are contracts. I completely understand why. But now that you have this YouTube,
here we go,
world.
Bob.
Yep.
We are on. We have got Irakli Saginashvili on the stage now, and they are about to call USA's Dan Mosier to the stage. This match, ladies and gentlemen, big match for the sport right here. Big match for Georgia, big match for the USA. I need to hear what they're saying. I'm going to put these headphones in.
Oh, I can't hear anything. I'm just leaving it muted and watching it. What?
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. And there we are. They're showing a video of Dan.
Yeah, he's looking good. Good on you, Dan.
Yeah.
These headphones not doing anything. All right, let's go.
when you were, did you try to listen to the?
I was having my head. The audio wasn't actually coming through on the headphones, unfortunately. So
Is it in? Oh, I was gonna say I don't know if it's in English or another language or what.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We will do it as it is in silence.
Now, wasn't Iraq Shavili like 165 pounds 2 years ago?
I think so. Yeah, he's come up through the lightweight division, and I think he has 2 WAF world titles at the lightweight. I think so. Yeah.
Well, he has his WAF world titles are in the juniors division. I don't think he has one in the seniors. He finished second in Romania when I was there in Romania. I had to look that up. I couldn't even find it, but yeah, I mean, clearly we don't know did they actually weigh these guys in? Like, I know when Devin and Michael,
they had to weigh in at 95. I know Dan came in and had to cut weight. A couple of I think he had 3 or 4 pounds that he had to drop. So yeah, they've definitely weighed in. So they're both at that 95 kilos. I believe Dan rehydrated and fed back up to 98, 99 kilos.
Was this guy under 95 kilos?
I don't know. Unsure. He doesn't look as big as Dan in the frame. His shoulders don't look as thick.
Right.
Irakli, having said that, he's pound for pound in terms of his gym lifts and gym strength. His fundamentals are huge. 100 kilo strict curl is massive. And Rob Vigen's the only other person that I know of that can do that. But Dan Mosier is not going to make this match about back pressure. Dan Mosier, one thing if that he does possess is lightning fast reflexes and a hand that can hold on to immense side pressure. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Yes.
Round 1 about to commence. Big moment here.
Good stuff.
These guys chalking. You can see the composure from both of them. They both look steady. They both look calm. Dan Mosier's body language to me means business. Irakli, as they shake hands there before the match starts. All right, big moment. I'm so excited.
Ooh, this is kind of exciting.
Oh, my heart rate's literally up. All right. Dan Mosier, Irakli Saginashvili for the right to enter and take John Brzezinski's place in the top 8 for the under 95 kilos. This is huge. You can see the high knuckles position from Irakli Saginashvili. He's looking straight away to take the high ground. Dan Mosier, slightly lower grip, slightly lower knuckle position. Dan traditionally rips hard sideways. You can see big back pressure. Irakli gets the hand and wrist of Dan. Dan is in trouble. From what I just saw, Dan is in trouble. Dan's wrist had to just buckle. Dan slipped. Dan let go. Dan likes to hold on, and Dan just let go. We are off to the straps.
Yeah.
Dan.
This is but what's interesting to me is that Saginashvili could not control the back of Dan's hand.
I feel like Irakli right then probably really respected the side pressure potential of Dan Mosier. If he's done his research on Dan Mosier, he'll know that Dan can go hard sideways and he can do it out of the straps. But right there, Irakli just demonstrated that he's strong enough with back pressure and pronation to buckle the hand or the fingers of Dan Mosier outside of straps. This is going to be interesting though. In the straps, you can see again high pronated out the back, low hand top roll, perfectly set there for Saginashvili. You can see he's returned to the high knuckles up, but his connection in a strap is in a low hand top roll. Dan Mosier looking uncomfortable for me. I don't see this round looking good for Dan Mosier unless he's really explosive with that side pressure. But the back pressure of Irakli looking good. The fingers now of Dan Mosier looking a little better. But I like what I see from Saginashvili. He's looking confident. Dan Mosier feathering his fingers there. He's trying to just keep some semblance of containment. But interesting start. Wow, actually, that was fascinating. Foul there from Irakli. But Irakli actually took the wrist of Dan Mosier off go. Dan's wrist went back slightly. But very interestingly, as Irakli went to go sideways, Dan Mosier achieves a stop with an open arm top roll despite his wrist being back. Really interesting from Dan there.
That was very, very, very interesting. I can tell your feed must be just a few seconds ahead of my feed.
Roger.
because you were saying stuff that hadn't happened yet. And wow, I'm telling you what, this may change my mind right now on this whole match.
I've never seen what this would, as the strap comes off and they're going to redo this strap. Really interesting situation here. Okay, it's straight away evident that Dan Mosier is not going to be able to flash pin Saginashvili. If he's going to win this match, it's an arm wrestle. So they're reapplying the strap now. So the stop genuinely happened there from Dan Mosier as Saginashvili went to go sideways. Does Dan Mosier have the ability to technically arm wrestle from there? He needs Bob Brown skills for this.
No, I'm telling you right now, he does. He's got a top roll in his bag, and he does technically know how to pull it off. We just don't ever see it, but trust me, it exists. You're about to see it. Now that I've seen what just happened, I really wish Dan was on the other side of the strap.
You can see Irakli once again during the strap application, he sets his hand and wrist with a low hand top roll, but then once the strap is tightened, he raises the knuckles up to apply significantly more back pressure through that loaded bicep of his. So here we go. The referee is getting them set again. Dan Mosier leaning forward with his signature style, ready to explode into side pressure. He wants to control the hand and wrist of Saginashvili. Here we go. Round one, almost set. Lots of load there. Shoulders being squared by the ref last minute. Here we go. They are both tense. You can see the looks on their faces. They're ready to explode. Good start. Saginashvili in control there. The King's move is on, and he is in trouble. Saginashvili comfortably taking that match, technically leading the dance there. Oh, and second elbow foul. Dan Mosier awarded the win 1-0. That won't concern Saginashvili too much. An elbow foul there, and down 1-0. I think Saginashvili is going to take this regardless of that situation. What I just saw then from Dan Mosier is not going to do the job. That's not going to do the job.
I don't know with you. I don't know, Ryan. Ryan, I'm telling you, Dan Mosier, when he laid back on his elbow and fell into that open top roll, Saginashvili was having a very hard time finishing him. And it's only when Dan came in to try to secure the hook that Saginashvili was able to get that move. If Dan would have stayed out, if he never would have came in, I think Dan wins that match right then and there. And Dan is about to go to the good side of the strap. If he maintains that back pressure, which is exactly what Dave Chaffee is telling him to do, Dan Mosier wins this whole thing.
I hope you're right, but I see it different. And the reason I see it different is I don't feel Dan has the ability to move correctly as quickly as he needs to keep the pressure where he needs it. I think Saginashvili has the ability to dictate where the pressures go. I think he's more proficient in those little movements once that match stops. I've personally pulled Dan in and had Dan in that exact same position, and for me, I didn't feel like it was where Dan was comfortable.
But the difference.
Execution's a problem.
There was a big difference between you pulling them and this guy pulling them. When you pulled him and the match stopped, you still had your wrist. And when you went sideways, you still had your wrist. Saginashvili was losing his wrist.
Here we go. Round two getting set. I think Dan Mosier is going to really want to try to hold on out of straps. He wants to make this about his style of arm wrestling. Saginashvili will load the back pressure again. Holds on a little longer here this time. Saginashvili getting the finger height and compromising the hand control from Dan. Dan looking uncomfortable. Saginashvili looking at the ref saying, come on, surely not another elbow foul. Someone's going to be called an elbow foul again here, there. One thing about Dan Mosier is he is very explosive. So even if you're catching Dan Mosier, there's the risk that your elbow bobbles, and under these very strict, rigid rules, it's the most marginal of elbow fouls that will be called.
Did they show who got the elbow foul?
I think they've called the foul, but they haven't mentioned who it's on. But judging by the body language of Saginashvili, I believe it's on him. So okay. Dan Mosier, again, in a good position. Saginashvili just needs to stay calm and composed. I think he'll take this match, but Dan with a good opportunity. Again, the high grip from Saginashvili. Good finger climbing regrips from both of them, but Saginashvili getting control of the fingers now. Wrist is in trouble of Dan Mosier. Dan Mosier is going to try to stay in that center zone and gets the strap there. Zarakashvili's back pressure looks too good. His hand looks strong enough. I think that.
Okay.
I hope, like I
Mark
said, I
my
hope you're right,
words.
Bob, but I think you're wrong.
I'm calling it right now. Dan Mosier is going to win this. He's going to win the whole thing.
No way. No. 20 bucks, Bob, you and me right now.
Okay, but the bet only gets settled in person.
Okay.
So we'll see each other. This
We
COVID
will.
thing's going to go away.
We will. YouTube, there we go. YouTube as our witness, Bob and I, 20 bucks bet. I got Zarakashvili to win from here. All right, here we go.
The other
So in
interesting
the strap,
thing is-
you can see now Dan definitely has the good side strap. That is a far better strap setup from Dan. You can just see, again, being on the good side of the strap allows for greater manipulation. Okay, whether you believe it or not, it just does. Dan Mosier with a great height, good pronation. You can see Zarakashvili is lifting his elbow, reaching, looking for connection. That's because he can feel and he can sense the good connection that Dan Mosier has. Dan Mosier, a great opportunity to take advantage of this good strap right here and put Bob one step closer to his 20 bucks.
I love the ref tells Zarakashvili, open your hand. He closes it. Open your hand. He closes it. Oh, like, when are you going to foul him?
All right, here we go.
It's so funny.
All right, Dan Mosier, Irakli Zarakashvili. It looks like a balance grip now. I like the way the strap was set for Dan Mosier in the application. Now that we're set to go, you can see Zarakashvili with that finger containment. He's going to want a top roll again. Dan Mosier being forced back on the pad as he creeps off the front. Zarakashvili's back pressure loaded up again. There's that open arm position. There's the stop that Bob's talked about. The wrist is back on Dan. The
Keep
defensive
the
top roll from Zarakashvili.
Just back. There's
the pin. There's the pin.
Oh!
All right. Dan Mosier. Interesting position. Dan Mosier unable to keep the wrist intact. That's the key problem there. And Zarakashvili equalizing 1-1. Interesting stuff.
And so that's where Dan needed to forego that incredible side pressure hit and just and do micro hits coming backwards. And I think Zarakashvili's wrist eventually buckles. Then you explode sideways.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Dan without his wrist is in trouble. Even though he can get momentary stops with the open arm top roll and by pronating through his thumb, it doesn't last. He isn't able to outlast Zarakashvili in that position. Zarakashvili maintaining all the fundamentals of back pressure and pronation, wrist flexion as well, and being able to take control. I think this is downhill from here for Mosier, unfortunately.
Well, I don't disagree. I guess I might owe you $20, maybe. If Dan would have just stuck with the back pressure, stuck against Zarakashvili's wrist, just kept that pressure back, I think he folds Zarakashvili's wrists, then explodes sideways. And once you've done it once and you know the lane, you'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, I agree. And just wanted to quickly let you guys know who are in the comments section saying, Ryan, refresh your feed. I assure you my feed is up to date with yours. It's just that we are broadcasting through Zoom so we can have guests on here like Bob. So Zoom brings the delay and there's nothing I can do about it. So I do apologize for that, but we've got that 10 to 15 second delay. But as you can see, it is a cracking match so far. One apiece. Dan Mosier taking the first round through elbow fouls on Zarakashvili. So just the evidence of that there must make all the people betting on that 6-0 Lavon a little nervous, because it is easy to get fouled in this league, this rigid rules. And Zarakashvili losing that first round on elbow fouls and then taking control of the second round to get the equalizer here. Dan Mosier, for me, his back's against the wall here. He needs to find a variation that is going to cause a problem to Zarakashvili, and I'm yet to see it. So Zarakashvili in cruise control for me right now. Here we go. Round 3 about to get underway. Dan Mosier, same grip as always. Saginashvili, same grip as well. He's got the knuckles high, back pressure. He's just protecting that pronation of his. He just wants to get to the straps, and he'll finger climb if necessary. There it is, the straps. Here we go. It's looking like 1-0 Georgia. Oh my goodness. Dave Chaffee going to equalize this or what?
Oh man, I hope he does. I hope he does. This is where, you know, like I said, Dan Mosier has a top roll. We've seen it. He's got the back pressure to flatten out Saginashvili's wrist, but he probably doesn't arm wrestle enough in the top roll to refine his movements. You know,
as I watch this match, Bob, I can't help but feel like I can't help but remember the fact that Igor offered this match to me, and I'd be like, I feel like, man, I'm just watching it exactly right now. I'm just looking at it, thinking what I'd be doing if I was there.
right.
I want to see this. I want to see Dan. I want to see Dan. I don't think there's an outside move that's going to work for Dan from what I've seen. I want to see Dan secure his wrist as priority number one.
I don't think he can secure his wrist.
Yeah, that high grip and that back pressure from Irakli is proving very problematic to him, and Dan's wrist is not coming with him, and you can see by the knuckle height of Saginashvili that his back pressure is too significant. And once again, open arm top roll, not looking good at all. Saginashvili, easy day now. It's going to get worse unless Dan finds a miracle.
Yeah. This is where I agree with, you know, what you said in the beginning, you know, insert your brain, my brain into Dan Mosier's head after that first match, and he's got a real shot at winning these things.
Yeah.
But his strength, in my opinion, especially now that he's going to go to the good side of the strap, he's never going to secure a hook at this point. He needs to stick with the top roll. He needs to switch from a lower hand top roll to a higher top roll to match this guy's knuckle up ability and get to where both wrists go back.
Yeah.
Once he has both wrists back, you know.
I agree with you, but unfortunately, I think the bicep strength is not there for Dan in relative to Irakli, and it's impossible for him to get those knuckles up. And I think if he came forward looking for a hook or something like that, it'd only get worse for him. I think Dan's just truly in trouble, and I think he knows it.
Now, for the guys looking at this live stream and seeing in between rounds, Saginashvili is kind of doing squats. This is something I have actually played with and tested with, and in super matches is exactly what you should be doing. If you can get your blood to move better, get your heart to pump a little more throughout your entire body, it helps to speed up the lactic acid removal from your arm.
There you go. The Latvian arm wrestler who moved to Australia, Guntas Baikos, who's a former Latvian super heavyweight champ, he does that every time between matches as well. Yeah. We've always noticed that. But
if nothing else, just walk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, round 4 coming up. Irakli Saginashvili well and truly in control right now. Dan Mosier very much technically in a corner. Not much left he can do. The back pressure of Saginashvili is too much for Dan to be able to get his knuckles high, to be able to keep his own wrist. And Dan doesn't possess the ability to get forward into a hook either. Dan truly only been able to so far get that open arm top roll away and leaving him really uncomfortable with the technical battle from here. I think Saginashvili is going to run away with this match. There it is, the hit, the climb, the control, elbow foul from Dan. But as you can see again, as Dan's hitting with the same shape that he's hit with each time, Saginashvili is maintaining that high knuckles, now getting the ability to finger climb outside of straps. This is, unfortunately, for the man from the USA, Dan Mosier, he's really left with no options right here. He's in trouble, and it's going to get worse. elbows being forced back onto the pad as Dan creeps forward. Irakli looking composed, waiting for the start, protecting his fundamentals, back pressure pronation, ready to finger climb. Dan Mosier hits Irakli, and second elbow foul there from Mosier with that old Louisiana hop. Missed it though, but once again, you can see outside of the straps, there's Saginashvili protecting back pressure, protecting pronation, just allowing the hit to happen from Dan Mosier.
But did you notice on that one, just like in the other time Dan was on that side of the table, outside the straps, Saginashvili's wrist got dumped down. Dan had the pressure on the back of his hand to pull his knuckles down. He wasn't able to secure coming over the top of that hand, but he does. He possesses the tools.
Yeah. The shape of this match is it looks very similar to the way my match with Dan went. There were moments where Dan outside of straps was still able to take my wrist, but as long as my pronation survived, and then I felt good. And
right.
It's looking very similar for Irakli right now in terms of the shape of this match. And for Dan, I just knowing what Dan's weapons are and knowing what options he's got. There's unfortunately, I just can't see anything that he can now do unless Saginashvili makes a truly big error. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. If Saginashvili wins the next one, of course, he's secured the victory. And then will he go inside and hook with Dan? I'd like to see it.
That'd be cool. I would like to see it, and maybe once he's got that fourth victory, we'll see a hook. Yeah, maybe. Interesting stuff. All right, round 5 coming up here. Saginashvili, 1 round required to win. He's looking calm. He's looking collected. He's felt what he's needed to feel. He's in the lane that he needs now. He's confident. Dan Mosier, unfortunately, in a very tricky position. Without that knuckle height, there's not much he can do. It's one-way traffic so far. Saginashvili will go on to enter the top 8 on behalf of John Brzezink's withdrawal from it. Should he win this next round and to face David Dadakan, which will be an interesting match as well. David Dadakan, of course, a lightning fast hooker up against Saginashvili would be a fascinating contrast. But here we are, Dan Mosier, one last opportunity. He hits with his side pressure, but the wrist is compromised. The finger climbing is on. Saginashvili gets the height, and the slip happens into the straps. They go. You see Dan just looking a little dismayed. He's frustrated with himself.
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling.
This is the match. This is the match that's taking place basically because John Brzezinski backed out of the top 8.
Yeah.
And what do you think John would have done with Saginashvili?
Oh.
Exactly. So my point is the level of the top 8 dropped a little, and it will be interesting because if Saginashvili beats how do you say David Kahn or
David
something?
Dadakan.
Yeah, well then we know exactly what John would have done to him as well.
Yeah. I don't think John would have had a problem with Saginashvili. I think John's hand is just simply too amazing. But
right.
But anyway, here we are. Dan Mosier with one opportunity left. He's going to have to find something special. I don't see the fatigue in Saginashvili yet that Dan would need, and the open arm top roll is the only stop that we've seen so far, and it's a messy open arm top roll. It's not Dan's ace. Dan wants this about side pressure, wants it on his side, but again, you can see the load right now from Saginashvili is dominant. Straight away, the knuckle height is already established from Saginashvili. His bicep pressure is too much off the go, takes the wrist, finishes the match. Done. 4-1. Saginashvili will enter the top 8 and face David Dadakan. There it is. Dan Mosier from the USA. Unsuccessful, as you can see, Saginashvili celebrating with his corner man there. Boom. Well done, Saginashvili.
Well, now I want to see him go on a hook and stay in a hook because I have no doubt that even if they started in the hooks, Saginashvili could roll him out right now. You know, Dan's wrist and hands got to be extremely tired right now, but go into a hook, see what's what. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, you can see the smile on the face there of Saginashvili.
Oh, yeah.
He's feeling good, and as he should be right now. And Dan, you can equally see the disappointment and the frustration in his face. He wouldn't be happy with how this match has gone. The round he won was on fouls when he was in a losing position. So he'll walk away from this, you know, feeling like he needs to improve his game. And strength has never been a problem for Dan. It's just been, he's one of those guys that I would describe as a glass cannon, where he really blasts through successfully if the conditions are right for his style. But as soon as he gets derailed, he is isolated and unfortunately doesn't have really any other options to call on. So Saginashvili has put him in that place today, and Dan is probably going to need to go away and think about what does Dan do? Does Dan get stronger, or does Dan add diversity, in your opinion?
He adds diversity. He starts to perfect the finer points of a top roll. Because in my opinion, Dan right here is the stronger man. He's losing because his arm is shorter, and the other guy is a very proficient top roller and guy.
Yeah. Sorry, losing my voice here as it's 5:50 a.m. But Dan Mosier in trouble once again. Saginashvili with the height of the knuckles there, off to the straps. Final round coming up. Dan, it's interesting with someone like Dan, who is a very singular style of arm wrestler. It's very difficult for them to go away and try to add something to their game, because they feel, when they change their style, that they feel nowhere near their own level. They all of a sudden can't hang with guys that they usually could hang with, and they just get frustrated and say, no, screw it, I'm going back to my best weapon.
Right.
So it's often a curse in some sense.
And here's the reality. And that's why so many people just got to swallow their pride in practice. You know, just like Todd Hutchins. I told Todd Hutchins 10 years ago, he should top roll. That's all he should do anymore at practice. Top roll, top roll, top roll, top roll, top roll. Because you can refine how to arm wrestle in practice and then go back to your single bullet in a tournament until you think you've refined it well enough.
Yeah. And here we go. Final round about to start. Saginashvili in control of the hand and wrist there. Mosier exposed that open arm top roller, pronation gone. And there it is, the 5-1 victory. Irakli celebrating. You can see, nice guy too. Very well received victory there. Giving Dan the compliments and the congratulations for his part in the match. But Saginashvili will enter the top 8, taking John Brzezink's place. And there's big Lavon for the first time we've seen him on camera too. Look at the thickness of that man. Gee whiz. As Irakli puts on the Georgian flag over his shoulders. And celebrates. Igor Mazarenko now congratulating Dan Mosier and Irakli on the performance.
Wow.
Big stuff. But how about Lavon then? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. He's a big boy. Here, let me, I'm just turn my phone here for a second.
Sure.
Do something.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the next match we have is the reason we are all here. It is the collision of what I think is the two strongest men in arm wrestling. In a fundamental sense, we are about to see two absolute monsters collide. The Georgian Hulk, Levan Saginashvili, up against American juggernaut Dave Chaffee, is just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. Big match coming up. Ooh, Dan Mosier must be disappointed. Travel all that way, it'd be hard.
I have no doubt. I mean, in all honesty, if I was Dan Mosier, and I realize, you know, losing sucks, right? But if I was Dan Mosier, I'd feel pretty good about that, what just happened. In my opinion, that match was much, much closer than I thought it was going to be. definitely think now Dan has the ability to win that match. He just needs to refine his technique. He's definitely, I believe he's got the ability. He has the strength.
Yeah, for me, the strength that he lacked was, I mean, it was right from the onset. Irakli took control of the top of the setup, and
Right.
with that position, Dan was unable to keep his hand and unable to access his famous side pressure. So I think, if he would need to either get better wrist up, back pressure to be able to equalize that start, to be able to then get over the pronation of Irakli and to utilize his own side pressure, or he needs to, I don't know, add some new weapons and actually have more connection to his own top roll and the drag and the ability to transition. Because as you say, Bob, he did get stops. There was a stop, and and as you know so well, Bob, the beauty of a king's move or open arm top roll is once you achieve that stop, you need to move your body in such a way that you keep that stop present. No matter where your opponent moves to, you follow and chase them and keep them on that stop. And that's what Dan doesn't do. Dan has not yet mastered that.
Exactly. No, he hasn't. But it was, it was impressive to me that when Irakli took, busted back the hand of Dan and then decided to hit, that Dan had back pressure to buckle Irakli's hand. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's impressive. That means to me the strength levels are close enough that then it comes down to a leverage and stylistic matches. And Irakli's always going to have the leverage. He's a taller guy, so he'll never lose that. But if Dan changes his style, I think this could even be a closer match. Yeah.
No doubt Dan will grow from it. He'll take the opportunity. Just to be on this stage at this event is a very big, special moment for Dan. I know. I spoke to Dan yesterday, and it was it is a significant moment. And although he'll be disappointed, he'll grow from it. He'll go away. He'll come back, and he'll do well. And Irakli, he'll be excited now. He's now earned himself a place in the official top 8, and he'll be absolutely buzzed to be in that. Oh. And here we go. You can see now they're starting to show the introductions of the main event. Dave Chaffee, the strongest of the American arm wrestlers, in my opinion. He's like Richard Lupke's Mark II kind of thing. Like he's one of those guys. He's just fundamentally strong.
Yeah.
Is he strong enough, Bob? Is he strong enough? Oh my goodness.
Well, I have a feeling we may see a duo of what we just saw. Where is he strong enough? Yes.
Here we go. Dave Chaffee is walking out. All right, let's look at the composure of Dave Chaffee. I spoke to Dave Chaffee yesterday via text, and he's taking a lot of motivation from people doubting him. He saw the way Igor, he noticed the way Igor laughed at this match when Dave arrived in Kiev. Igor giggled and somewhat belittled Dave, saying that this was a good match for Lavon, but not a good match for Dave. Right. And Dave's taking motivation from that. He thinks like I do. I think he knows that he's being underestimated. People are assuming Lavon has surpassed this level. Dave's there to prove that his level is incredibly high, and that the pressure's on Lavon to perform here. And Dave, I think, has a very good opportunity to totally do that right now. And here he comes, the Georgian Hulk, Lavon Saginashvili. Let's have a look at the mood of him. Okay, you can see, he is, I don't know, actually, he's got that stance on him, that shoulders up, traps back stance, but he looks like he realizes this is a fight. I think he's ready for this. This is going to be big.
Holy moly. Come on. Like, seriously, that's huge.
All right, so I think Lavon weighed in at somewhere around the 170 kilos, maybe 175 even. I've heard people saying that he was 50 kilos heavier than Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee weighing in at 125 kilos, I believe. So this here is
115 pounds bigger than Dave Chaffee.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
when you look at their bodies, when you see them standing side by side, it's thickness of the chest, it's thickness of just about everything. It's his head, his shoulders, his chest, his stomach. Everything is just thicker. Dave Chaffee looks like he has a body big enough and strong enough. They don't look that different when you see him front on, but as soon as you see him side on, it's like, hey, whoa, look at the thickness of Lavon. I don't know. Wow. I see nervousness in Lavon right there. I don't know his face there. I don't think Lavon is rock solid right now. I think there's butterflies. Lavon, it's been 2 years since Lavon has performed and had to prove that he is the guy. He's been given the credibility of being the guy. Now the pressure's on. If there's pressure on anyone, it's Lavon right here. Dave Chaffee is a threat. Lavon knows it. Round one about to start. Oh my goodness.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, Dave Chaffee has the good side of the table round one. That is a big call. That is, if this goes to straps, which I think it's going to, Dave Chaffee will have the good side round one. That is going to be a factor in determining the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The biggest match of 2021 about to get underway. Dave Chaffee, Lavon Saginashvili. You can see Dave Chaffee in that knuckles up position. This is exactly as I predicted. Knuckles up from Dave. Low, slightly lower hand from Lavon. Look for Dave Chaffee to back pressure, side pressure, and contain and roll Lavon. Lavon looking to contain. What is going to happen? Oh my goodness. Say go. Here we go. And Lavon takes the wrist of Dave, and it's the exact reversal of what I said. It is Dave slipping in the losing position. Lavon taking control of the hand and wrist. 1-0. And look at that. Man, he's a big unit, isn't he? Wow. Decisive opening there from Lavon Saginashvili. Exactly what I predicted to happen, but the opposite direction. Dave Chaffee's wrist was just taken outside of straps, and he slipped in a losing position. Dave Chaffee.
Well, it's interesting. If they're using but if they're using WAF rules, that should have been a strap.
No, I saw his wrist. I felt like his wrist was definitely wasn't pronated. It was underhand slip.
Yeah, but that doesn't make an intentional slip. Just because your wrist is dead back and you're that far from the pad, that is not an intentional slip loss in a losing position. It's not. Everyone thinks.
All right, we have right now. Dave Chaffee, he's just felt it. Lavon Saginashvili has just stood his authority over the round one, and in quite a decisive manner. Dave Chaffee needs to compose himself. He's felt the angles now. He needs to make slight adjustments. Lavon Saginashvili from a lower hand top roll, like we thought he would use. Dave with the knuckles up, the lower hand top roll, the back pressure and containment. The key being the containment from Lavon's fingers was proficient to connect to his back pressure to allow pronation to actually crack the wrist of Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee needs to take control of that high ground more significantly. He needs to load with more of that fundamental back pressure that he's got. He needs to trouble the hand of Lavon in the setup. He needs to make Lavon think that he wants to slip as well. Dave Chaffee smiling there. You can see almost that Dave Chaffee acknowledgement of that power there from Lavon. You can see again the thickness. Look at the thickness of Lavon's shoulders and elbows. Dave Chaffee looking for that high ground. Once again, Dave a little flustered as Lavon takes control of the thumb of Dave Chaffee. You can see the width in the back of the hand of Lavon Saginashvili as he takes control of the thumb of Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee looking unsettled. He wants to get his game away, but the fundamentals of Lavon's hand right now is intimidating, Dave. You can see Lavon looking rock solid, not moving in the setup. Again, an indicator that he is the stronger man. And Dave Chaffee can sense that, can feel that, and he is constantly looking for an adjustment. Dave Chaffee, can he find the lane? Is there a lane? A lot of nervous energy out there, I think, from Dave Chaffee right now. He needs to find it and settle in a groove. Trust. Right at this point in time, it's a scary thing to trust yourself. He might need to take a slightly deeper grip. He might need to add a little bit more supination into it. He's gripping slightly lower than I think he did last time. Last round, he really set for higher knuckles. This time, Dave Chaffee in the ref's grip. You can see his fingers are pointing a lot lower than they were in that first setup. Pretty even balance there in terms of the height and direction of their fingers. Elena Kuzmic closing the thumbs. Here we go. Round 2. Is Dave Chaffee in the fight, or will Levan take control? Dave Chaffee dumping the wrist and slipping. He wants the straps. Technical variation there from Dave. Oh, but we got the elbow foul. It's not in the straps. This is why. This is why I hate it. I hate the rigid rules for stuff like this. Oh my goodness. Outside of straps again. Lavon in control. Dave Chaffee wants the straps. He wants variation. Lavon's wrist hasn't moved so far. His hand is just so strong. Levan looking quite composed and controlled here. Dave Chaffee, once again, in the ref's grip. Head referee Elena Kuzmic closing the thumbs. Dave's going to look for the slip again. Oh, second foul winner. Oh, my goodness. Moving in the ref's grip, foul. 2-0. Dave Chaffee in trouble. Dave Chaffee. Come on, Dave. I bet on you to win a round. What can he do, Bob? Is there a way?
Well, he's at this point, the only way I see is he's got to get to the straps because that's still an unknown.
Yeah.
And I think he can get to the straps if he keeps his elbow down, it goes to the straps. And this is the time because neither one of them has had their arm tested yet. I mean, Dave's wrist has been challenged, but neither one of their arms has been.
Yeah.
So
remember the declaration from Levan that he said, "I will beat you in a hook." If Levan wants to make a really big statement, he does it now. He doesn't wait till he's up 4-0. He does it now.
Oh well, yeah.
That would make a statement, but that's a risk.
Yeah, that's
a
never
big
gonna...
risk, but that's a statement. I hope it goes there. I don't know, but Dave Chaffee, no doubt, will try to get to the straps once again in this round.
Oh yeah,
Levan Saginashvili really in control. He's just going to maintain center. He's going to maintain good, solid, static threat through all fundamentals, and he's going to look to just hold on to Dave Chaffee. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I can tell your feed is even a little. It's maybe about 3 to 5 seconds ahead of me now.
Oh my goodness, it's tricky.
But that's okay. I heard you had called the second foul before they went. I'm like, oh crap, they're gonna foul, and then I saw it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, round 3 coming up. Levan Saginashvili in control so far, 2-0. The Georgian Hulk
Get that slip.
Proving his position at the number 1.
What I don't want to see Dave do right now is grip low and go for a hook. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, not outside of the straps. Yeah. All right, here we go. You can see once again. So Dave Chaffee has taken a lower grip than he did in that round 1. He's looking to dump and slip. He's looking to dump and slip, but he can't do it. Levan just holds on, controls him everywhere. Yeah, wow. Levan is strong. Imagine doing that to Dave Chaffee.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
Well,
Dave Chaffee needs to go back to round 1. He needs to go back to high knuckles using his fundamental best assets. Dave is not Dave. What Dave tried to do then, grip low. Levan saw it coming a mile away, and he just said, "Okay, if is that what you're going to do? I'll just counter you this way." If Dave is going to get to the straps, he needs to genuinely threaten up top. He can't bluff it. Bluffing doesn't work when you're that's much stronger than someone. You can just see it coming and you can close the door. Right. Dave Chaffee must post hard must back his arm and his wrist up top and hit and pronate and freaking go for it, and then he might get the slip. So far, it looks like Devin was right.
So far. I hate it when that happens. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, this is impressive what he's doing to Dave's hand. There's no question about it. That's super impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Bob, I just want to say we got 4.8 thousand people watching you and me chat about this right now. So I just wanted to say massive thank you to everybody in the chat. This is crazy. Really appreciate you guys being here to check this out and listen to me and Bob talk about this match. It's an honor. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, round 4.
The word got out that I'm on your chat.
They come flocking. Go and subscribe to Bob's channel. You want to see some real technical breakdowns of strapping and rules and how to do everything under the sun. That's the man to consult with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Round 4. This is do or die for Dave Chaffee. Right now, Levan Saginashvili is in cruise control, totally controlling the hand and wrist of Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee unable to yet make it about arm in any way. It's all been hand and wrist control from Saginashvili, and there has not been a power war anywhere yet. Dave Chaffee needs to back himself and get to the straps if he's to have any hope. You can see him dragging heavily. Once again, I don't like the tactics of Dave Chaffee here on his attempt to get the strap.
Unless you get a hook.
He's running. He's running and dragging, and it's creating. He's losing height in his hand. It's not good. Lavon is staying dead center, happily waiting for the go. Right now, if they say go with Dave doing that, it'll be exactly as per the last round, and it'll be over. Come on, Dave, get those knuckles high, back yourself. We want to see something interesting, or hope Lavon just puts it in a hook. Come on, stop running, Dave. Stop it. What's he doing, Bob?
I don't know. The only reason to do that is if you're going to try to force a hook, coming forward and force a hook. But I agree that, not really sure.
Yeah.
Start with your elbow back of the pad and come flying forward.
He might randomly try to. He might randomly try to flop slip. I don't know. Ooh.
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. Knuckles up, back your arm. I like that. It looks like he might do it. He might go knuckles up. Get that front of the pad and back yourself, Dave. All right. At the moment, Lavon is simply too strong in the hand. He's intimidating Dave at center. Lavon's hand is controlling all directions. But Dave has come higher this time. I like seeing that. That gives him more possibility to get to the strap, which is what we want to see just for curiosity's sake. We want to see it in a strap just to know what that does to this balance. Lavon Saginashvili looking to maintain his perfect Supermatch record. He's on track to do it at the moment. 5,100 people tuning in, watching this one.
Wow.
Ready to go. He's coming very closely. Levan Saginashvili, the Georgian Hulk. Why am I losing my voice? It's been up all night. Come on, there's the start, and the slip attempt is desperate. The elbow foul. Lavon, let him get to the strap. Lavon is too strong. Man, he's too strong. It's crazy. Lavon. Okay, I think Lavon is going to. Lavon's closing this one out without. He wants that perfect record. He's not going to let the straps happen. He's going to hold on. Dave is going to either foul or be pinned right here. I don't think Dave can get the strap. He's taken a slightly lower grip this time. Dave Chaffee looking for maybe some variation. Again, he's trying to use the Devin Larratt style sudden dump of the wrist to get out, but the control of Lavon's hand is too good. There's the dump wrist and the foul again. 4-0, it is done and over. Levan Saginashvili is through to the next round. Levan, sir, please go into the hook. Please. We got a super chat in from Nork. Says, "Dear Ryan, dear Bob, thank you so much for what you guys do. Much love from Germany. Stay strong." Thank you, brother. Appreciate that super chat.
Okay, now I want to see him either go on a hook or just starting a strap.
Yeah.
Starting a strap.
Yeah, it has to be. And this has proven one thing. This has proven that Lavon is the man. He really is.
Yeah.
There's all the questions. I don't think prior to this moment that was set in stone. Lavon hadn't had an opportunity to face someone like Dave, and with no Pushkar and no Saplenkov in his history, he needed someone like Dave to be able to verify and give himself the credibility. So right now, what I'm seeing from Lavon is an absolute display that he really is the guy. He just is. It's, for me, it puts it beyond doubt. I don't think anyone can do this to Dave out there.
But I want to see it in the straps.
Yes, please. Please. Oh man.
I feel like it's when Zoloff went against Todd Hutchins, the two greatest hookers on the planet, and they kept top rolling each other.
Yeah.
Like, knock it off.
Yeah. 100%. We need to see it. And Lavon did make the declaration via YouTube just only a couple of days ago that he wanted to beat Dave Chaffee in a hook. So let's hope he lives up to that word right now and goes straight into the hook with Dave Chaffee. If there was anything that Dave Chaffee possessed that was at least a possibility, and in the minds of some people, myself included, I do believe that he had better fundamental arm power than Lavon. We want to see if that's the case or not. Dave Chaffee taking the high knuckles grip. This looks similar to the round one in the way that Lavon is posturing, and Dave Chaffee gripping high, dragging low again. Oh, maybe it looks like Dave is setting for the hook now. He's just going for the hook. Yeah, this is going in. This is going in. Here we go. We're going in, Bob. We're going into outer straps hook here.
We're
going in. Oh,
in.
We're going in.
You'll see it before me.
Yeah, we got to go in. This at least could be some entertainment here. What can Lavon do if this sinks down to a deep hook? They're both, look at the arm angles, both arm angles going low, both athletes leaning forward. This is going into the hook right here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Lavon is going to drag that hook open though, and Dave's going to lock his shoulder forward.
All the State King guys are out there going, come on.
Yes, just win one round, Dave.
Just win this one.
Ref script. Okay, here we go. Ref script. Lavon looks like he is taking the leap into the hook with Dave Chaffee.
What do you need to ref? What do we need a ref script for at a hook?
Yeah,
if both guys do a hook, go.
Right now, just literally say go in that hook. This will be interesting. This will really demonstrate a lot if Levan Saginashvili takes utter control of this hook.
Yeah.
That really shows you where he's at. Dave Chaffee, this was the one place that he wanted to go, that we all thought he could go, and that if it did go there, he would have control of center. Levan taking a slightly higher grip here than Dave. That'll suggest that Levan will have better rotation if it does go into the hook. At the moment, Dave just wants it to get anywhere where he can use his arm. No fouls here, please, gentlemen. And it's gone back to a top roll, and there goes the wrist. Levan feeling the victory there, taking control. Can someone please tell Levan to hook? Tell
that
Dave
was very
to hook.
They did look like a hook.
They did all that setting up looking like they were going to hook, and then they both changed and went to their top rolls.
No. Very upset.
Hook, Levan. Yeah, Dave got a little bit more horsepower down there. He had a bit more connection for a little bit longer before Levan disengaged Dave's wrist, but once Dave extended in his ability to drag again, I think he was desperately trying to threaten the hand and wrist of Levan and maybe hoping for a strap once again, but Dave Chaffee unable to get it. And yeah, Levan too good, too strong.
One more round.
Final round.
You can go to sleep.
All righty. Dave Chaffee. Last chance. Let's really hope that we get something out of this match. Levan has simply been too good, and to me, this match this isn't a boring result. I find 6-0s very fascinating because they do tell a story in themselves, and this has told a story. This was a story that Levan really deserved. He deserved an opportunity to be able to demonstrate this, and he's done so today already, and he can do so to an even greater degree right now by going in the straps in a hook. That's what we want to see. But he, of course, is conscious of that 6-0 reputation and that 6-0 Stake Kings.
Right.
Boy, what happens now if he lays down? It's not that he's not going to lay down. He's never going to lay down. But what happens if he... Come on, straps,
the world
please.
Upset, but it's not going to happen. He's definitely not laying down. Whether he'll hook or go to the straps, or if they were going to go to the straps, they would have just started right now in the straps. So
yeah.
And Dave is looking like he's going to top roll.
Yeah, Dave's still trying to get to the strap. Let him get to the strap, Levan. At the moment, you can see Levan staying rock solid, center position, maintaining static threat in all fundamentals, trusting his hand to be in control once again. Dave Chaffee looking uncomfortable, dragging, pronating, trying to find a way out. At the moment, his hand and wrist just cannot hang with the giant Hulk. And he's panicked. Here we go. Last round, Dave Chaffee. Waiting for the call, getting the refs getting shoulders square, wrists straight, knuckles up. Slip, Levan. Slip, Levan. Slip, Levan. Don't do it, Levan. Oh, Levan. You know, when Levan gets to Australia, I am going to kick his ass for not hooking.
Yes.
I'm going to say, Levan, where was that hook you promised us? You strong bastard. There it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Levan Saginashvili has right now, right then and there, proven he is the absolute number one in the world. It's beyond a doubt now. The questions have been answered, and they've been answered very clearly. Levan Saginashvili is the strongest arm wrestler alive. No one in the history of arm wrestling has been able to control Dave Chaffee to that degree. Not Denis Saplenkov, not John Brzenk, not anyone. No one has done to Dave Chaffee what Levan has just done, and he rightly deserves, from this moment forward, global recognition as number one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. So, well, Ryan, it was fun hanging with you. I wasn't expecting to do this today, but it made it fun. So, you have a great. Hopefully, you'll get a nap now. And
well, you know what? No naps for me, ladies and gentlemen. I will be in about half an hour's time live on The Fix with Neil Pickup, Ravens, Lavons, and Paul Lynn. So if you want to unpack everything in detail, that's where you can join us. Bob, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
You should go look at Stake Kings now. I'm pretty sure there's more money bet on you now.
Good stuff. Well done, Bob. Good man. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, YouTube, I'll stick around for a bit and keep chatting with you guys. I'll love to look back and answer any of your questions, but just kind of give you my final thoughts on that, Lee. For me, right there, what we just witnessed was a really significant performance from Levan Saginashvili and from Irakli, for that matter, too, in the undercard. Right then and there, as I said in the build-up to this match, I do believe that prior to this match, Levan hadn't had the opportunity to really demonstrate his significance and his dominance in the sport. His rise to what was his number one rank came through defeat of Vitaly Levan, with the passing of Pushkar and the illness of Saplenkov. Lavon never got the opportunity to really demonstrate it, and his match with Dave Chaffee today is a significant step in his story and his ability to establish his overall rank as number one. Lavon Saginashvili is now, in my opinion, very clearly the absolute number one. I'm sure Lavon will still want to get more from the sport. He'll want to win this series, and he'll probably want to pull Devin Larratt and Michael Todd before he wraps things up as an arm wrestling career himself. I don't know what is in the future for Lavon, but as I said, if Lavon is to go on and be successful against Vitaly in this season, assuming Vitaly makes the final, of course there are others that could make it as well, but if Lavon goes on to win this against Vitaly, I believe he is pretty much solidified his position as one of the all-time most dominant arm wrestlers in the sport. Like I said, I do know from Lavon, speaking to him personally, that he will want to pull Devin at some point, and he'll want Devin to be truly prepared, and I'm sure Devin will want it as well. It's a fascinating moment for Dave Chaffee as well, a very humbling moment for Dave Chaffee. Dave is still one of the strongest arm wrestlers on earth, and has fundamentally truly been at the top of the game for a long time. And for him to have felt the power in Levan Saginashvili in this manner today really would have been an experience that he will just be, to be honest, I think he'll just be amazed and impressed at the strength of Levan Saginashvili. So Dave Chaffee, well done on a top effort, but Levan Saginashvili, clearly the man. And yeah, amazing stuff. The cool thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Levan Saginashvili will be in Australia in just a matter of weeks. So I will be able to talk to the man directly, get his thoughts, ask him where he's going in the sport, ask him what's to come, how he'd go against Devin, how he'd go against Michael Todd, how he'd go against the Brisbane 8, and we'll get to do a lot with him. So really, really good performance from the Georgian arm wrestling today. Really, just a powerful demonstration that they're at a level that is very significantly high. Irakli Zarakashvili making comfortable work of Dan Mosier, technically out arm wrestling him, and fundamentally having more strength than him in the key areas. Very, very impressive from him as well. But yeah, so where to from here for this event? Of course, now Lavon will go on to take on the winner of Prudnik against Tim Bresnan. He has beaten Tim Bresnan in the 2019 season of the top 8. He will no doubt beat him again if he's to face him. Prudnik is an interesting one, but unfortunately for Prudnik, I don't think he is in the fundamental strength level to be able to challenge what we just saw. Not even close. And it will be one-way traffic. And the one question we have left for Lavon this season will be, can he defeat Vitaly Levan again, who has demonstrated in his own opening round of the top 8 against Krasimir Kostadinov that he has entered another level, where he, of course, made Krasimir Kostadinov look very comfortable in his match, in his opening round of the top 8, defeating Krasimir 6-0 in the hook in the final round, doing it very comfortably. So that match between Levan Saginashvili and Vitaly Levan will be highly anticipated, and it will be one that everyone will be watching closely. Vitaly Levan, of course, the taller man, the longer levers, they are the weapons that he possesses that truly do threaten Levan. The ability to potentially take the wrist and top roll Levan is the one thing that is up the sleeve of Vitaly Levan. But what we saw today really did demonstrate a level of power that I don't think we've witnessed before. The last 2 years for Levan have clearly been productive in terms of continuing to get stronger. Levan Saginashvili, the way he defeated Dave Chaffee right then and there, truly is something special. No one in the history of the sport has been able to do that, and Levan did it very convincingly today. Total control of the hand and wrist of Dave Chaffee, and Dave Chaffee unable to slip, unable to make it arm on arm at any point during the match. Outstanding performance from Levan. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I might wrap that one up there. I want to just quickly, genuinely say thank you to every single one of you. We had a peak of 5,100 people in this live stream today. It's the biggest live stream I've ever had on my channel. I wanted to thank you all today. If you weren't aware, about 3 weeks ago, I declared a goal on my YouTube channel to achieve 1 million views in a month for the first time ever on my channel. And I can very happily say that today we will achieve that 1 million views in a month. And it is thanks to all of you that will do it. We might even be there already, but I was about 30,000 views short of it when I went to bed last night, which I actually kind of didn't go to bed. But now we will pass the 1 million views today. And I want to thank you all genuinely. The support that you guys are showing me right now is amazing. What I really wanted to thank you for is your feedback. It is your feedback through the comments section. It is your feedback through messages to me that has helped evolve this channel. And it's helped me improve the content and improve the sport. My small role within the sport, I really do appreciate the fact that I get to call this a career. I love arm wrestling ridiculously. And I love that you guys have given me a platform to be able to make it a career. And it's at that point well and truly now for me. And as I was saying, it's your feedback, the comments that it talked about improving little things, and just reassure you guys that I read every single comment that you guys make on my videos. I do. I don't always respond, but the thoughtful ones I do respond, and I read every single comments on the YouTube videos, and I really do appreciate every single one of you for all of your support. So thank you so much for being here in this live stream today. I apologize for the lag and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't going to do it via Zoom. I was going to do this solo today, but when the stream wasn't up and the PAL's service was down, I thought, oh, I better get some people on here to chat with me. Otherwise, I can't talk for 7 hours with no event. So we got the Zoom up. So I do apologize for the Zoom lag on the matches, but I will, of course, do a thorough breakdown and technical wrap up of these two matches in particular, and present them to you guys over the next couple of days. But yeah, had a blast, guys. Thank you so much once again. I will see you all in about half an hour's time on The Fix on Neil's Supernatural Strength channel. Don't miss it. That'll be a great conversation to have with all of those guys about what we've just witnessed, which is, for me, a historic moment within the sport. Lavon Saginashvili stamping his absolute authority over the entire arm wrestling world. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. Still trying to end this stream.